Kia ora te whānau, welcome along to the Sky Broadband Rapid League game. Round 11 between the Mills Albert Saints and the Night and Day Otago Nuggets. Coming to you live from Porirua to Rauparaha Arena, Wellington, but north of Wellington. Probably about half an hour, 40 minutes drive, given how traffic goes. Maya Williamson, Andrew Mulligan on hand for this one. And a Rapid League game that always counts for the Sal's NBL standings. And in terms of the Saints, just wanted to keep everybody at arm's length as they secure that second spot and maybe have a chance to take that top spot off the Rams. And for the Nuggets, it's just playing for the rest of their season for respect.
Yeah, you're right. They have been invested in by the Dunedin City Council for the next couple of years to keep their franchise alive. So they definitely want to finish out well, Miles, like you said, and Rapid League can be a big contributor to that.
Shout out to the Dunedin City Council getting behind local sport, a lot of local talent coming through the Otago Nuggets as always. In fact, their Rapid League team has a lot of Otago boys high school talent in it. And that is how the Rapid League looks for the first half of the ladder. And the second half of the ladder, doesn't really matter. Those two teams today don't really feature in it. But you can see the Bulls, the Sharks, the Jets, the Tuatara, the Airs, all those teams are in the top 6 or out just outside the Sal's NBL ladder. So their Rapid League team may decide where they finish up in the main competition.
And the Sharks might be kicking themselves for that because they're making the surge for a playoff run right now and have one Rapid League win over the course of the season. That's definitely shooting themselves in the foot.
Here's how the 5 looks for the Otago Nuggets. A couple of changes today, and it's Matt Bardsley's been actually called up into the starting 5 of the main game, so he won't feature.
Yeah, and that's going to be tough. They don't have their top 3 scorers, Stoddard, Martin or Bardsley. Bardsley, of course, in the Sal's NBL starting 5. Stoddard's out with injury and Martin's over at the Under-23 Nations League. So they're going to have to find something else to work the Nuggets.
And then just a solid unit for Chris Tupu. And the Saints, Caslo Evans Jr., Rangi Maria, Dougal Meter, Sam Gold, Pilcher and Richards round out the starting 5 for the Saints. And their black and yellow pinstripe of heritage colours for both teams, in fact. And here's how it looks in the head-to-head, all stats courtesy of the Chemist Warehouse.
Yeah, that bottom one, the leading scorer, is going to be interesting. Like I said, without their leading scorer, Stoddard, who contributes 11 points a game, Evans Jr. has been really good. So the Nuggets are going to have to find something else that works for them offensively. And that 3-point percentage as well, 23%. Not favourable whatsoever for the Nuggets.
Your barter card referees, Callum Welsh, Sam Pan and Samuel McFadzean. Now your match officials. Just an interesting note to Caslo Evans Jr. as well. He's got a broken bone in his hand, in a shooting hand. You can see there on his right hand there. And he suffered that against the Phi in round 10. Played on against the Tuatara in the second half of round 10. And yeah, good to see everybody tucking their singlets in Maya, because that's how it'll end up most of the game. It won't. But you've got to have your shirts tucked in, kids.
Yeah. Good referees enforce tucked in singlets.
Absolutely. Start with high standards, end with those standards. Saints and Caslo Evans Jr. only opened the doors about 20 minutes ago, and we've got a clock issue because it's the Sky Broadband Rapid League. We're just going to run some time off. We're going to go to about 3:56. No, we're not. I'm going to run it down. I think we've run it down too much now.
I don't know if that was 7 seconds worth of basketball just yet, but that's all right.
Certainly wasn't 7 seconds, but hey, it's Rapid League.
We're getting used to the Porirua gyms.
Everything's ×2. Sam Gold had the push from Darcy Knox.
Yeah, not surprising there. The Nuggets, like you saw in that Chemist Warehouse head-to-head, they lead Rapid League in steals, so they're looking to be aggressive and get out and defend those perimeter actions early.
Darcy Knox, who started the season in the Sal's NBL for the Nuggets, comes off the bench. Caslo Evans Jr., a little strong, but was almost taken by Luca Richards. And here is Darcy Knox with the ball. Pilcher on him. Kicking out to Freeman. To the left. Caslo Evans Jr. looking up to Dougal Mita. Stepping through, kicking it out himself to Sam Gold in the corner. And that is a good 3 from Sam Gold and the Saints.
Yeah, that was a really, really nice position. The kick ahead to Dougal Meter, who's an excellent decision maker, really good gravity going downhill. And if you can hit corner threes like that all day, you're going to have success.
Smiler giving it to Freeman, sees a double. Dribbles back out, nicely done from the big. Knox leaves it short, grazes the net. And will be Saints ball on the baseline.
That's an air ball.
Oh, that's an air ball from the corner now, so that's pretty tough chat. But if I'm the Nuggets, I'm not looking to go back-to-back triples to start our offense. They are, like we saw, 23% from beyond the arc. I'd be looking to be a little bit more aggressive if I were them.
Spinning is Caswell Evans Jr. Tough bucket from the point guard.
No way that kid's got a broken bone in that hand.
Toughing it out. 5-0 lead for the Saints. Darcy Knox. Rusk giving it up. Now it's Freeman up high, going to work on Luka Richards. Tough matchup, but excellent footwork.
I like that from Patrick Freeman. He's shown really good glimpses this season. Really patient off of 2 feet. Gets Luka Richards off in the air. That's nice.
Sam Gold gets underneath, and he's got 5 quick points in this first quarter. Knox, left-hand finish. Leaves it short. Here comes Cas Evans Jr. Left to get right and deep. Touches the paint, but kicks it out. Brings it out, rather. And another good play here. Luka Richards in deep himself, and one. Nice execution from the Saints. The Nuggets defense a little bit passive, and it's made to pay.
Yeah, I like that from Luka Richards. Had that low roll once the ball got to Dougal Meter and was wide open under the rim. The Nuggets are going to have to rotate a little bit faster and be aware that's exactly what Richards wants. He's, as soon as that ball leaves Caswell Evans' hands, he's getting down low, sealing and looking for that exact shot.
9-2 offensive rebound on the miss from the Chemist Warehouse strike. Caswell Evans puts it up for Luka Richards.
I like that.
And he puts it down. And he's fouled.
Did he just get teed up, though, for that?
Hanging on the rim, perhaps?
Fair enough, though. Let him do it. He just put on an absolute poster.
Now, we'll just get a confirmation of that, but that's a great pass. Yeah, that one there, slapping the backboard, that'll get you a technical foul. No idea what that feels like, Maya Williamson.
No, not a clue. Not even on a lowered hoop do I know what that feels like.
And we'll shoot the tee first.
Yeah, Caleb Smiler, I think, was the guy that got dunked on as well, so this is his revenge.
Nothing says revenge like a technical free throw.
Cashed it too.
Smiler, nothing but net. And then now it'll be Richards to the line to shoot the and one.
That's the thing, though. This Saints lineup is huge. Luka Richards is 6'8", Sam Gold is 6'7". That's just nothing the Nuggets can combat.
Pilcher's a big body. He's active as well. Dougal Meter. Big first quarter for the Saints. Still over a minute to go. Noah McDowell in the game. Excuse me, Liam Boomer. In fact, for the Nuggets, but it's the Saints with the stop. Turnover. Smiler with the ball under a minute. Sam Gold with the bump on Freeman. Freeman with the left. Left it well short.
This court announcer's got no mercy right now for the Nuggets, but their offense is just so isolated right now. They're just relying on one guy to try and attack downhill one-on-one and make something work out of that. Last 2 positions has been that with Freeman and McDowell, so they've got to find some kind of ball movement and energy in the offense that gets the ball flowing a bit better.
Tyrell Hickey in the game. 0-0. Giving it to Robert Parrish. Well before your time, sorry, Maya.
Yeah, that just flew right over my head.
Celtics centre legend from the 80s.
I was not even a thought in my parents' mind for the next 20 years after that.
Enjoying the Sky Broadband Rapid League game from Te Rauparaha Arena in Wellington. Porirua?
Porirua, putting it on.
I thought the Saints were your team, Mike.
The Saints.
Excuse me, the Celtics, my bad.
Yeah, they are in 2025, and, you know.
Their postseason's not going great.
Oh, thanks, man.
BNZ player timeout called by Darcy Knox and the Nuggets. Interesting ploy here. Looking just to get something going in this first quarter. 26.7 to go.
Yeah, I think it's a smart move. Darcy Knox is a really good leader, and he can bring these boys in all together. They definitely want to chip away and close that gap a little bit more so they have more chance to compete in that second half. If it gets out too far, it's going to be really hard for them to climb back up and in. So this is a smart timeout from Darcy to just relax and talk about some things, definitely on the offensive end.
Use that QR code to get yourself a ticket to the big game, a chance to win those. All thanks to BNZ. Rusk. They're going to run here. Knox with it. The 30-year-old for three from deep. That will stay with the Nuggets. Came off Gold's hand. So Nuggets ball on the baseline.
Again, sitting 0 for 3 right now, and they're a team that's last in three-point percentage. They want to get in paint a little bit more and look to execute out of that instead.
Just that quick hit out of that BNZ player timeout. They're looking for a 2-for-1 that they couldn't execute. Is that a foul before the ball was inbounded? So we'll just do it again, will we? Okay.
Yep, right back.
Freeman, nice work from Heke. And is that a kick ball? I think it is. I think they're going to say that he clamped it between his ankles, hence a kick ball.
Deja vu.
Using his feet, so it stays with the Nuggets. Freeman for three. Hit while he took it. And, oh no, it's a foul on Heke. And just too aggressive on the closeout. So 3 shots coming up. Paddy Freeman from the line.
That is exactly why they say third time's a charm. Didn't work the first 2 times. Great luck for Patrick Freeman. Again, they're very happy to let it go from deep, but that's an ideal situation.
I think that's the clamp there.
Yeah, those Saints boys could not believe that one.
I like it. It's a good call. It was a move to secure the ball. Using your feet. Same thing, you stick your foot out to stop a bounce pass.
I mean, sometimes it's just like a reactive thing. Like, you can't help it. Just
that wasn't reactive.
He knew what he was doing.
I liked it. He tried it. He tried it on.
Yeah, well, you might as well try it. See if you get away with it. Barter officials, too good.
Rapidly coach Jeffrey Sparrow looking on. Good with the third. So 12-5, Saints ball. Caswell Evans Jr. Nice pass. And Luca Richards trying to cock it back and punch it down. Needs to get a shot up. Pulling the trigger. It's McDowell. And that'll do us for the first quarter. A good one for the Saints to begin with. And then just sort of ground down to a bit of a slugfest towards the end of that 4 minutes of quality Sky Broadband Rapid League basketball between the Saints and the Nuggets.
Love that from Luca Richards, by the way. Just trying to get highlight reel after highlight reel. Love his activity and what he's doing. Love the position he has with the Saints at the moment. But you're right, it's been 14% from the field for the Nuggets versus a 71% outing for the Saints in the first quarter.
Well, I'm 100% behind the large meatball pizza from Sal's. Get that for $32.99 using that QR code, or Sal's Baller 25 is the online code. That's valid until Tuesday.
How do you feel about that, meatballs on a pizza?
Well, as long as the meatballs aren't large, by the looks of that, they are perfectly formed.
Perfectly sized, I agree. What a genius idea. Only an American would come up with that.
Absolutely. Did you like my segue into it? Because I've been learning from Casey Frank, the segue master.
He loves nothing else, nothing more than a segue into a Sal's NBL deal.
I love nothing more than a deal of Sky Broadband. $5 starter, $50 a month for the first 12 months. Get that offer at skybroadband.co.nz or call 09525 5555.
They're just going to segue into like every single thing that comes up, do you reckon?
I reckon we're ready for another quarter of basketball. That's pretty weak, to be honest.
Yeah, that's luckily it's only the Rapid League.
Yeah, just warming up for the main game. See what the Nuggets can get when they restart the game here. Plenty of opportunities towards the end. Underway in the second quarter, 12-5 is your score. Darcy Knox saw the pressure
Great team, boys.
from
Great
Pilcher
team.
and Muna, who's in the game, and turns it over.
Yeah, need to let that one go, I reckon. They threw a little bit of a double in that hard show at him, and just, I think Knox thought it might have come off them, so was relaxed and, you know, reserved to grab it.
Luca Richards giving it to Dougal Meter. Freeman on the switch. Here's Evans Jr. shifting, hanging. Richards on the glass. Freeman contesting. And that bounced out, so it's Nuggets ball. Tough work inside for both Freeman and Luca Richards on that one.
Yeah, Freeman's doing some God's work at the moment. Really the only one in his position who can guard the likes of Luca Richards and Sam Gold as well. Love the activity from Luca Richards on that one, and the Nuggets will be very happy that one didn't go down and extend the lead even further.
Knox turning the corner, getting in amongst the tall timber. Beautiful finish from Darcy Knox. Up ahead, going the other way. Pilcher off the glass and in. Saints pushing and are rewarded with a fast break bucket.
That's a great response from the Saints. Gave up a relatively easy look for Darcy Knox and then just had an answer straight away.
Smiler thought about it, had a notion, gives it to Knox. Boomer comes across to help with the point guard, and Freeman driving baseline, sees Richards, goes at him, blocked by Luca Richards. And back to the Nuggets though. Up fake, needed to shoot it, in and out. Freeman, all the way over the top of the seating there on his bench. Liking the hustle from Paddy Freeman. Like the tartan they're going with the blue accent on top of their Rapid League City Edition uniform.
Little swan dry moment. Pretty sure 80% of the Dunedin population has one of those.
Skip pass to Sam Gold, and he drives. He's fouled.
Sam Gold.
And the Saints get another and one situation. Sam Gold with the up fake and the drive.
Yeah, so he's doing a really good job of exploiting the fact that the Nuggets are really late on their rotations at the moment. That was a hard closeout for Liam Boomer to contain it all. You've got to be careful about your distance management. Sam Gold wants to get downhill and get to the rim. Capitalizes on that one. And again, late rotation means the likely possibility of a foul, and that was good from Sam Gold.
Can't convert. So it will be the Nuggets shooting just 18%, 2 for 11. He's flirting with a back over half there as well. Done that a couple of times now in this first half of basketball. Knox, left-hand drive, picks up his dribble, waits for the cutter, and he gives it up. Nicely done to Michael Rusk.
And there he is again, Michael Rusk being a pest in the backcourt against Caslow, and that offensive possession is exactly what the Nuggets needed. Some activity off the ball, off of a drive, caught the Saints sleeping. That's perfect.
Last thing Caslow Evans Jr. needs is Michael Rusk bagging that right hand. He sees the double. Knox came over, giving them a taste of their own medicine, are the Nuggets. Gold puts Darcy Knox down. Tyrell Hickett. Luca Richards again on the glass. Trying to get another and one, and he's successful.
Love that work, Luca.
Did he even look at the rim as he did that? That was outrageous from Luca Richards. Too big, too strong, the Saints tonight. Not to mention, Darcy Knox was flying everywhere on that position. We'll take another look on GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Literally backwards. Outrageous from Luca Richards. But like I said, loved the activity from Darcy Knox on that play. But again, it's those late rotations from the Nuggets. They're getting caught sleeping right now, and the Saints are capitalizing.
18-9. Here's Knox. Oh, that's pretty again. Darcy Knox at his best when he's aggressive, getting to the hole and spinning it in.
You can tell he's fired up. This guy's everywhere at the moment.
Picks up a foul, though. That'll be personal foul number 3 in this half. It's team foul number 3, so they're in the bonus of the Saints.
Yeah, love that aggressiveness from Darcy Knox. I like his mindset. That's what you have to do to get back in this one. But 3 personal fouls in Rapid League has got to be, you know, you're kind of flirting with getting fouled out in 16 minutes, which is definitely not preferable for this Nuggets team.
16, how about 8?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He could pick up another one, and another one after that. Here he comes. Somebody needs to step in and draw the charge. Darcy Knox, though, will know exactly the awareness of the situation. Paddy Freeman just, excuse me, not Paddy Freeman, it was Boomer dribbling into trouble and turn it over. Muna off the glass a little strong. Nuggets push. And that's good from Caleb Smiler. Just getting the Saints defense on their heels.
Yeah, take another look at that. Caleb Smiler, really good in transition, very fast when he gets downhill, and that's exactly, like I've been saying, what the Nuggets need to do. Stop settling for outside shots. They're 0 for 5. Field goals creeping up now to 30% for them, so they just got to keep putting pressure on this Saints defense and force them to defend downhill.
Good on the second. And so we'll have a sub on the make. Nice crowd building at Rauparaha Arena in Porirua, Wellington, north of Wellington. Nice to see them take a game up State High 1, about half an hour's drive from central Wellington. On a good day, Jordan Ngatai, Prince of Porirua, his hometown, stepping back as Evans Jr. Hard off the back of the iron. Rusk, Smiler, good ball movement. Freeman, mid-range was there if he wanted it, dropping it off though. Shot clock at 9. Smiler, and a foul. And that's going to be on Eke, and that's his third.
Now these Nuggets boys very much aware of the fact that Saints are pretty prone to fouling right now. Did a good job putting pressure on that. Only 7 points between it.
Smiler,
Ooh.
dancing. Had plenty of time, and it's a good offensive rebound. 6 in the half. Smiler under all sorts of pressure, and he can't get the roll. Unit picks up the foul, and it will be Smiler. Caleb Smiler heading to the line. Sister Kaylee, part of the FI team that won Tohi Baswa Aotearoa last season.
Just made her Tulfurns debut as well at the Trans-Tasman Throwdown Series. Very talented basketball whānau. Cousin Ezra Smiler was really good for Waikato in the age group stuff growing up.
.4 Saints will probably call their BNZ player timeout here. Luca Richards makes me look good. So we'll talk about this half. 2.5 to go. 2.4 to be exact. Get your ticket to the big game. You can apply through that QR code for a chance to win tickets to this season's games.
Is it another Luca Richards poster here, Miles?
I think it's a high on ball. I think Luca Richards is going to come in from the corner for a dunk on the drive. That's not exactly what's going to happen. There is the high on ball.
You're close.
That's how I would have drawn it up. And that's the half of basketball done and dusted at the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Nicely done by the Nuggets, who were in a bit of a hole to start the game. They've clawed their way back. The deficit is 6. 20-14 at half-time here. Aaron Young, head coach, talking to his unit. Chris Toothwood pulls up a chair. And these are the stats for your break.
And again, not surprised by the activity there of Sam Gold and Luca Richards. They, the Twin Towers, you could say, in an essence here, and the Nuggets just don't have anything to combat that at the moment. Some nice contributions from Evans and Pilcher. Knox and Smiler were particularly aggressive at the back end of that first half, and Freeman and Rusk, of course, playing their role. Rebounds, Caleb Smiler with 4 at the guard position, but doing a really good job being active and very spread across the board for the Saints. Richards has been really good on the offensive glass. Both of his rebounds, in fact, coming offensively. Evans Jr. up to 4 assists already. He's done a really good job at playmaking out of those high on balls. Dougal Meter with 2. And just 2 assists for the Nuggets in general, belonging to Knox. Richards, no surprise, is just stuffing the stat sheet at the moment. A block for him as well. He's been extremely active, and 1 steal apiece for Gold, Pilcher, Knox, and Boomer as well.
I feel like Luca Richards, he's been robbed a couple of times on the defensive glass. Feels like he has more rebounds than he does. He's got 2 offensive rebounds, 0 defensive rebounds. But he has been active in both keys.
Really cool to see Luca Richards, though, come to the Saints after a couple of years developing with the Jets. He's stuck to that local development pathway, you could say, and is getting a lot of that under Aaron Young, and is really making strides in his career. Really, really cool to see.
So will be the Saints who start us for this third quarter. Evans Jr. to Dougal Meter with the left hand. Can't get the roll. Nice play to start the quarter, but it's empty possession. Smiler stepping through. His English is not quite enough, and then he picks up a cheap one on Pilcher there.
Smiler's definitely understood the assignment here, though. Has been so aggressive that tail end of that second quarter, just picking up where he left off in regards to that as well. And that's on both ends of the floor. He's really willing to get up and defend in the backcourt, and has been their primary guard for the last few minutes at just getting downhill, being aggressive, and putting pressure on the Saints defense.
Turnover.
There he is.
Gets a hand in there. He's going to go all the way. And he felt like he was at least trying to get into his motion to shoot. And he got fouled, obviously. Here we have a look at the replay. Didn't seem to be a lot of the shooting action, but the intent, he's saying, was there. I asked, would he be going towards the hoop like that? As Russ drops it off to Freeman on the baseline. Richards with a defensive rebound, chalk it up.
He finally gets one after probably having a few gone amiss. And again, Caslow Evans just being a real problem for this on-ball defense for the Nuggets. He's really been able to get any looks he wants, being really aggressive at turning the corner and finding looks out of that, mainly really for his teammates rather than himself.
Crowd starting to arrive for Sal's NBL matchup between these two teams. Sam Gold off to the right. Nuggets ball. Get your team merch. You can shop these City Edition uniforms and Sal's NBL unis as well with that QR code. Here's Freeman. And we've got a foul after the pass on Darcy Knox. So it will be Nuggets ball because it looked like that was going to be a turnover. Not exactly sure who it was on. Might have been on Dougal Meter, but we'll wait for that to be updated in the live stats. Freeman. Here's Smiler. Nuggets really need a bucket here, just to get themselves going. Good defense, though. Coughed up. Rusk. They need to get it up. And it's a foul with 1 on the shot clock. That is unfortunate for the Saints.
That's his 4th foul.
That is Hickey's 4th.
Far out.
Tyrell Hickey's made them count, though, I'll be honest. That's a little bit of an unfortunate one, to be fair. Gives them a fresh 14 to the Saints. Freeman just leaving it short on the rim.
But
Man.
don't lie, the Saints would say, I reckon, with that one.
Caswell Evans kicking it out, finding Sam Gold in the corner. Another three for Sam Gold. That's his second.
And that's a spot, eh? And Caswell Evans, again, doing such a good job getting into the paint and finding his shooters out of that. It was an athletic pass through traffic to Sam Gold, who is so good from the corner, and up to 10 points now on the night.
Evans Jr. an airbender with that pass. And that's a travel from Noah McDowell.
Like you said, they need a bucket here. Yet to score in this quarter. They were neck and neck in that second. They actually won the second quarter 9-8. And now they've actually just got to get it done and make those bunnies they've been missing. 25% from the field are the Nuggets, and yet to hit from beyond the arc as well.
I feel as though it's Darcy Knox's game for the Nuggets. He was great when he was just getting into the paint, and Muna misses that. Here is Knox. Muna does a good job slowing him down. Fighting his way through the screens, though. Great hands from Hecker, gambling on his 4 fouls with that one. Gets the steal. Caswell Evans Jr. gets some separation. And then it's McDowell with a foul on that drive, his second.
Caswell Evans again, the energy from this guy is electric. Can't help but feel that he is really much leading the charge for the Saints team. He's done a really good job of distributing for his teammates, but knows when he can get his own, is the quicker of the two when it comes to him and McDowell. Smart move from the young man, and a double-digit lead is near for the Nuggets, and that's not a position they want to be in.
I feel like the magic number in Rapid League is 7 for a lead. Anything over 7, it's really hard to rein in coming into the fourth quarter. And now the lead is 10. The Nuggets need to get something going here. And Knox just leaves it a little strong off the glass. Here comes Caswell Evans Jr. Just bobbled it. Muna trying to find Pilcher. Nuggets with it. Nice work. Rusk gets a fast break layup.
And takes it out of that double-digit range, which is, like you said, Miles, they want to avoid being in that position going into the fourth quarter. And if the Nuggets here can force anyone else to play make aside from Caswell Evans, they have a better job or a better chance at actually slowing them down and managing to contain them.
Gives it back to Muna, and then we've got a double dribble.
You don't see that very often, do you?
You do not.
And yeah, like I said, get the ball out of Caswell Evans' hands and allow someone else to play make. And 2 times in a row, good things have happened for the Nuggets.
Well, similar point in the first quarter. They went with a BNZ player timeout. They keep it for the fourth quarter, perhaps. Might have gone for a 2-for-1. Did Smiler just step back over? I think he put his plant foot on the halfway line. Anyway, it was missed. Perhaps I'm just seeing things, but I'm pretty sure he was established in the front court. Here he is, cupping it, kicking it. Knox knocking it down.
You had the chance to say Knoxing it down, and he just did it, Miles. Come on.
You can say it. Muna answers with another 3 for the Saints.
Closes out the third quarter with a 3.
And that will do us for 3 quarters of Sky Broadband Rapid League.
Nuggets, 27-19.
And it is going to be an 8-point lead. And is that too much for the Nuggets? They had 5 in that quarter. They did a good job right up until the end when Muna got free there, knocking down a 3. 27-19.
Discouraging sign for the Nuggets. They finally get one to go down, 1 for 7. And then on the buzzer, they give up a 3. They had closed it back to a really reasonable gap, only a couple of possessions in that one. And now the Saints not only have a bigger deficit, but momentum as well coming into this fourth quarter. Definitely not all said and done, but some things have to change. I think Darcy Knox and Caleb Smiler are going to be the front leaders for the Nuggets in this fourth quarter to have some energy and get some stops.
Saints shooting 47%. They've hit 3 threes. The Nuggets 6 of 20 for 30%. They've hit just the one. They're 1 for 7. That 3 was the Knox special from the corner. Saints have locked up that three-point line like Fort Knox.
Nice.
Thanks.
You looked over at me with a smirk on your face, so I kind of knew I had to give you some recognition for it.
You did. Man, I was disappointed I didn't say Knoxing it down, which is a great call from you.
Thank you.
Freeman spinning. Nice work. Good to see from the Nuggets to start the fourth.
Yeah, love that so much from Patrick Freeman. He is so good at playing off 2 feet. His decision-making is really good when he's in that position, and he's a really nice touch on both hands. They need to use way more of that. He's 2 for 7, sorry, now. More activity from him in this fourth quarter, I reckon.
Dougal meets it. Turnover. Rusk. Freeman. Stepping through. There's that footwork. And Paddy Freeman has pulled it to within 4 single-handedly to start the fourth.
I love that again. 8 points now for Patrick Freeman. So good at deciphering where the defense is and figuring out what to do about it. And here we go again.
Saints chucking it away. Freeman kicking it out. 3 ball from Boomer. Saints survived that one. Oh, man. Oh, can they hang on to the ball here? Luka Richards. And that will be Nuggets ball. Another empty possession.
And it's a great answer. At least they hang on to that one this time round. And it was a nice roll and then kick out. And Sam Gold is efficient in the corner, right? That's a great look, but not going to be able to knock it down. That's very timely for the Saints. Could get it to, at best, within 1, could the Nuggets?
Knox in trouble. Keeps his head. Rusk. Stepping into the 3. Lead is just 1 for the Saints. The Nuggets coming back in the fourth.
The Nuggets, a fourth quarter team, have just put on an absolute clinic on both ends of the floor.
Dougal meter. Pelcher with the offensive rebound.
Yes,
Just got around Michael Rusk. And that is a relief for the Saints to start.
Yeah, that's a great settling bucket for the Saints. Just going to something easy and quick they know that they can capitalize on, and that's offensive rebounds.
No, Knox to the cup with the left. There it is, Darcy Knox. When he gets downhill, puts his head down and gets to the rim, more often than not, he's successful. And closes the lead back to 1 for the Saints.
And he has been on an absolute mission today as well. Something has sparked a fire inside that guy. He's been very aggressive getting downhill and finally having a little bit more luck with his actual touch off the glass.
He's got 9 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, flirting with a rapid lead 555.
Nice.
Dougal meter gives it to Richards. And again, Luka Richards will go to the line. It's been a long time since he's been there, though. It's better from the Saints.
He's very active, Luka Richards. Active off the ball in those right positions. Saw that Dougal was driving and stepped up into a position where he was outside the defensive window, but enough for Dougal to find him. And I don't actually hate that foul there from Patrick Freeman. Luka Richards is now 1 for 4 from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Way better to force him to make free throws than have an easy late.
2 for 5 now. Lead is 2, 1:37 to go. Knox. This time the Saints defense collapses on him. Kaz Evans Jr. Much like Knox to the Nuggets, Saints are better when he's penetrating. And again, that pass is picked off. Smiler to Knox. Rushed it a little bit. Rusk putting it in, and we're tied at 30.
And you've got to give all credit to the Nuggets defense. That's leading into what their offense success has been. It's all starting from their ability to read what the Saints are trying to get to. The Saints now have rinse and repeat pretty much the same offense through and through, and the Nuggets are just reading it like a book.
They're on an 11-3 run to start this fourth quarter. Freeman all over Richards. Forces them into a step back. Good stop again from the Nuggets. 40 seconds to go. Anyone's game now. But it's the Nuggets with the confidence. Darcy Knox fouled by Dougal Meter. Just the first team foul, maybe second. In fact, for the quarter for the Saints. Just the one team foul for the Nuggets. 3 new shooting in Rapid League. Freeman getting into the paint. Can't get the roll, but it'll head to the Chemist Warehouse line. And Dougal Meter wants to talk about it while he gets ready to shoot his first.
How about this from the Nuggies, eh?
Amazing.
And it wasn't just a third quarter trail. They have been trailing from the get-go and have been fighting all the way through and have reached their peak at just when they needed it. And as I say that, Freeman misses from the Chemist Warehouse.
It's 2 for 4 now. Both teams with their BNZ player timeouts. Makes the second. Nuggets have the lead.
Have they led at all today?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. There you go.
Biggest lead was 10 for the Saints. Shot clock down to 12. Difference of half a second perhaps. Caswell Evans, Nuggets have a foul to give. So the Saints ball on the side, 8.3, smart from the Nuggets. What can the Nuggets get here? They're going to call their BNZ player timeout.
And they've got a great lineup on here with Sam Gold and Dougal Meter, prolific three-point shooters. And then Luca Richards, obviously his activity has been undeniable down low. And then Caslow Evans, no doubt, going to be the playmaker on this position.
Just the one bucket in this quarter for the Saints. The well has dried up. Get your ticket to the big game for a chance. All thanks to the BNZ player timeout. Caslow Evans Jr. Side ball, 8.3. Saints looking for the lead. Who will call game? Has it tipped away by Rusk? 5 now. Evans Jr. Lost it on the way up.
Oh,
Nuggets ball.
Oh, wow, Bowles.
Great defense from the Nuggets. And they just need to get somebody to touch it. And in fact, they call their BNZ player timeout. And I tell you what, the other three aren't that in a hurry to get to the 30-second time to decide what they're going to do. What will the Saints try and force here? Here it is, the drive from Caswell Evans, just lost it. Russ stayed on his hip. Freeman came over.
Elite defense there from Rusk. Moved his feet, got his chest in front, completely legal.
They were down by as much as 10. Knox. Caswell Evans has it, needs to get it up. It won't count. Oh, dramatic to end it. Just couldn't quite get to it quick enough. And the Nuggets, what a fight back in the second half. Terrific performance in the fourth quarter. Looked like they were down and out heading into the fourth. And they just absolutely turned the screws on the Saints. And they get the win in the Sky Broadband Rapid League.
Now that is Dunedin grit if I've ever seen it. Those boys were on a heater from the second that ball was inbounded in the fourth quarter. Nobody even in double digits for the Otago Nuggets. Yeah, but how good was Darcy Knox in his leadership tonight? Sam Gold, of course, with 10 points. Richards contributed with 8. Rusk ended up with 9, a clutch 3. Tied them up, and then Freeman, he was their guy to initiate that comeback. Smiler with 7 rebounds. And 2 of those on the offensive end, Knox, and then 1 apiece for the rest of those. Pilcher was active with 5. Richards, we believe, could have been a little higher. Caslow Evans there, their playmaker, Dugamere with 3. And again, Knox and Smiler, their backcourt was just elite tonight, igniting a fire. Luca Richards had another block in that second half.
It was a low-scoring game, but it's going to be the Nuggets who take the win at Rauparaha Arena in Porirua. They grit their way and grind their way to a 31-30 win. 12 in the fourth quarter. We'll be back on air in around about 14 minutes' time for the main game. The Saints and the Nuggets coming to you live on Sky Sports shortly.
Some things don't change, Wellington. It's going to get dark in here in a second. Get back. Where are you? Let's see you. You think you save lives, man. Let's light it up. Saints family, it's showtime! So welcome to Rauparaha Arena for the first home game in Pallacanestro in 10 years. Please make some noise and welcome our team back to McFadden Court. They are the 12-time South NZNBL champions.
You guys.
Kia ora te whānau, welcome along to Te Rauparaha Arena in Parirua for the Sal's NBL matchup, round 11 game between Wellington Saints and the Otago Nuggets. Andrew Mulligan, Maya Williamson on hand for this one. Maya, we saw a great game in Rapid League, a comeback from the Nuggets to get the win in the fourth quarter after they were down by as much as 10 through the game. And now does this bode well for the main game here in Parirua?
Yeah, look, they are definitely out of playoff contention completely, sitting at the bottom of the table at the moment, but they need to finish off the season respectively. They have been invested in by the Dunedin City Council for the next 3 years, so it's going to be a season where they have to finish off strong. They won't make the playoffs, but again, give back to the City Council for their investment and to the fans as well.
Yeah, the great initiative from the City Council to help keep the Nuggets and the Hoiho alive in Toihi Basketbol Aotearoa. Here's how the standings look. Now the Saints sitting there in second spot, just trying to keep that pack at arm's length. A couple of wins ahead of the Airs and the Jets. And of course the Hawks and the Bulls there round out the top six. But the Saints also would love to get the Rams as well. The Rams obviously have 2 games in hand. They play later on tonight, but they still have those games in hand. And here are the Nuggets down the bottom there. Just so interesting though between the Tuatara Sharks and Phi. I think just might be a little bit too much for the Giants to get into the top 6.
Yeah, dropping that game to the Rams the other night was crucial in their surge, but they've finished off well, and they'll be definitely encouraged by the fact that they brought in Combs late in the season. They've really found their form, but just unfortunately a little bit too late.
And there it is, the rest of round 11 and heading into round 12 on Wednesday night. But the Rams and the Hawks, good game coming up Saturday night for you. The Hawks, that's a big game for them, a real test of their playoff credentials. The Bulls and the Tuatara, massive game for the Bulls. They are on a slide. The Franklin Pool and Leisure Centre, Pukekohe, will be the scene for a 09 battle. The Giants will host the Hawks as they head up the country from the Christchurch on Monday, on King's birthday. Without King Charles tuning in on FIBA YouTube for that one. And then the Bulls and the Saints will tip us off for round 12. Again, another big game for the Bulls. It's just coming in waves at the moment for them. They're just not able to close games out. But back to this one. Starting five for your night and day Otago Nuggets. Couple of changes coming into this game. Matt Barsley elevated into the starting five. And Josh Aitchison enjoying the likes of Jono Jansen, Don Carey Jr. and Jalen Sabri as well. And head coach Mike Kelly loves the way that his big is picking and popping. And we also love the fact that he's way too tall, Jono Jansen, for our backdrop as well. Here is the big man.
Jono, you found some nice form of late, but coming up a big shot blocking presence of Nick Muzinski. Does that change your approach?
You know, I think the main approach is just to stay aggressive, right? Like, Nick is obviously a great player and he's a hell of a shot blocker, so no, you might have to be aggressive in different ways, but I think at the same time, if you stay aggressive, right, you can't be passive against a shot blocker. So I'm looking forward to the matchup tonight. It'll be good.
Absolutely. Jono, the Nuggets have played well enough to stay in the games over the last few rounds, but haven't been able to close out. What's the key to improving your form down the stretch?
I think that's just it, right? Like, we've been doing better, we've been building, but I think at the end of the game, it's just, you know, locking into what we do, playing better defense, and then just putting together play by play. Kind of not worrying about the big picture, but instead just one play at a time. So I think once we get that, we'll be able to do a lot better.
Jono, go well.
And we host our first NBL game.
Yeah, Jono Jansen
Averaging
averaging 17.4, 6.7 on the season. And he was a tall black in 2021 during those COVID seasons. And he played Australia. For the Saints, they're starting five. No Shea Ele again. Isaiah Liafa, Nick Marshall and Ngatai. Point guard and the two wings. Hiram Harris, Nick Muzinski will round out the starting five for head coach Aaron Young. Had an excellent win over the Tuatara on Sunday, round 10. And now Hiram Harris will be looking to continue that success here in Porirua.
Hiram, the Nuggets have had a very efficient offense. How can you force them out of their comfort zone to impact that level of efficiency?
I think it starts with our pressure, full court pressure, and then pressuring them so they can't get into their spots. But yeah, we just have to be the aggressor on defense.
Looking at your own team, a few moving pieces of late, what's the key to adjusting quickly to those changes and efficiently the offensive end to reach your peak performance?
I think for us, we just have to learn how to roll with the punches. We can't really control injuries. Can't really control who's going to be in, who's going to be out, who's going to be available, who's not available. So just understanding what group we have and just pushing forward with that one group, and then, you know, if things change, things change.
Thanks, Hiram.
Hiram Harris, 14 points, 10 rebounds a game, 4.5 assists. As you can see there, the head-to-head, Maya, is not looking good for the Nuggets coming into this game.
Yeah, 5 L's in a row is not really what you want to see on your Chemist Warehouse head-to-head. The top scoring battle is going to be an interesting one. Nick Marshall has been elite for this Wellington Saints team. Such a pleasure to watch, and Carey Jr. has kind of lowered his productivity as of late. Jono Jansen increasing a little bit, as well as Sabri. The blocks per game, that has been Saints' bread and butter. I mean, having a guy like Nick Muzinski in your game, he is leading the Sal's NBL in blocks, and the Nuggets are sitting at dead last. And there's a lot of categories in today's matchup where it looks similar to that. The Saints up in the top in a lot of categories, and the Nuggets really battling at the moment.
As you can see, that score there, 111-99, just one of the losses that they've suffered this season. That really sums up the Nuggets' season so far. Their offensive rating 7th out of 110, but their defensive rating 119. That's 119 points per 100 possessions conceded. And that is dead last in the Sal's NBL for this season. Their last win came on March 27th. They've lost 9 in a row, the Nuggets. It was 65 days ago. And the Saints are looking for a bit of consistency. They dropped a game last round against the Fight, getting the win, though, over the Tuatara in their double header of a round. Made some changes, though, the Nuggets. Jose Perez, he's gone. They can't rely on his presence. Todd Withers came back for a stint before his NBL 1 commitments. And he was excellent. Always a tough competitor, Todd Withers. I'd dearly love to have him, his services for a full season. But Mike Kelly, Jalen Sabri and Don Carey Jr., along with Jono Jansen, the main scoring threats for the Nuggets. Alternatively, for the Saints, they've done pretty well themselves, adding Jordan Ngatai, the Prince of Porirua. He's back in his hometown, and what a great initiative to take this game to Rauparaha Arena. Bardsley and Aitchison recently hit 100 games for the Nuggets. Darcy Knox off the bench will have 100 games as well.
How good, and Matthew Bardsley, I believe, did all 100 with the Otago Nuggets. Darcy Knox is going to be the same story tonight as well. Encouraging to see them stay loyal to this organisation. A couple of chips under their belts as well. Obviously, won't get one this year, but you'd love to see the loyalty.
Absolutely. Darcy Knox, infamously the last pick of the Sal's NBL Showdown in 2020 for the Nuggets. And he just won a championship with them in that season. And then won another one in 2022.
Is that Bardsley or Knox?
Bardsley.
Bardsley.
Yeah.
Named Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
Hugh Bainan.
Well, that's the term they call for the last draft pick of a draft. But he certainly has been excellent for the Otago Nuggets. Got some blues going on as well. Pinstripe of the Saints and the light blue of the Nuggets. Shout out to Rauparaha Arena with the blue seating across the stadium. Rather.
Like that.
And a good crowd in on a Saturday afternoon. Congratulations also, and the slack of myself not to bring this up. Rangi Mario Dougal-Mito, he'll come off the bench for the Saints. Had 100 games for the Tuatara, against the Tuatara rather, for the Saints on Sunday. So this will be game 101 for him. A great effort for Rangi Mario Dougal-Mito. Saints to start the game. Harris to Nick Marshall, who's been aggressive, especially against the Tuatara. They go straight to Ngatai in his home game. And then vintage Jordan Ngatai post-game.
And that was always going to be an issue for Jordan Ngatai. Just such a versatile player. So good from the perimeter. That three-point shot is electric, but has the ability to play back down game like that. That's going to be an issue tonight.
Carey Jr. Nice match up with Liafa today. Picks up Mazinski on the switch. Picks up his dribble, gets it back. Free ball. Left it short. Goes for 9 attempts a game, and Matt Bardsley doing Matt Bardsley's things, trying to save that. Almost did. Here come the Saints, though, through Liafa. Operating with Muzinski, drops it off for the big, who left it, tipped it nicely. Not conceding the turnover, and Ngatai onto his shoulder, couldn't get that one to roll down. Harry Jr. And it still stays with the Nuggets. Shot clock at 8. Aitchison, Jansen, what a great pass. Shot clock to 2. Needs to put it up. The big does. Liafa with the rebound, and then Matt Bardsley doing Matt Bardsley things, trying to get a quick one, and concedes the foul.
I like the activity on the glass from Matt Bardsley, trying to generate some more positions, because those first two from the Nuggets, really no effective paint touches, which means they were just trying to play some one-on-one basketball, and the Saints are too good of a defensive team for the Nuggets to be able to get any quality looks out of that, and they've just got to find something else to work. Those first two positions not encouraging at all for the Nuggets.
Ngatai going back to him. Sees a double. Liafa from deep. Left that short. Might be a door open, perhaps. Torirua.
Yeah, that's not right.
Just check that one there behind the stanchion isn't open. Might be one at the other end.
Might be just slightly ajar, you know, enough for a breeze to come through. You do not see that much from Le'afa at all, but if the Nuggets are going to double off of him and allow him to have that kind of shot, he's going to take those all night long, and as he should.
Carey Jr., nice bounce pass to Jansen. In deep on Mazinski, picks up the block. And that comes off Jansen's hand, so it will be Saints ball.
I mean, that's what Nick Mazinski does, right? He leads the league in blocks, and Jono Jansen was questioned about that in his pre-game interview. He knew exactly what he was matching up with. He's just got to find something else that's going to work around Nick Mazinski, and it's not going to be that.
Hiram Harris, nice soft right-hand finish in the key.
The king of bully ball, that guy. 14 points a game for him this season, and most of them look like that.
Aitchison almost stolen by Nick Marshall, and it's a bucket to the Nuggets. Harris sweeping through, stepping through. Marshall's three rims out.
Anytime you're going to give up Nick Marshall an open three in the corner, the Saints will not complain.
Jalen Sabri, mid-range games on point.
Love that from Sabri. He had a little patch there in the Nugget season where he was really low in his productivity. So good to see him getting way more involved early.
Mazinski getting the little finger roll. Little scoop shot around the defense in.
Such a great touch, Nick Mazinski. He's just so good at doing what he does. Gives up a foul there, can't believe it.
Mazinski got the clean block, but got him on the body and the eyes of the referee on the baseline.
It's always how it is, eh? All they think about is the clean block, not the push they gave. Take another look at that. And
oh, it might be the arm.
yeah, I think he got him a little bit on the arm, no doubt. Matthew Bardsley looking to be aggressive early in this one. He's already got 2 points and only averages 4. And yeah, if they can get Mazinski in foul trouble early, they'll be happy with that given their size mismatch.
Bardsley's nickname is the Slippery Eagle. I prefer Slippery Eagle. He can get up, Matt Bardsley.
Yeah, he's athletic.
And he's got some pop. He's got some hustle as well. He always plays both ends with full intensity. Makes the second.
Just playing 14 minutes a game off the bench, has barely pipped the starting 5 lineup all season, but has taken it like a champ and has brought that same energy to Sky Broadband Rapid League as well.
Oh my, what a look to Hiram Harris. Just had the Nuggets at 6s and 7s on top.
The Saints are so good out of operating out of that empty corner on ball. Le'afa just makes the right read every single time.
Jansen muscles his way into the key.
That's more like it from Jansen. Has a lot more success without the big Mazinski in the middle.
Just a sub in on the play there. So it will be Bardsley taking a seat. And Smiler's in the game, and Rangi Maria, Dougal meter in game 101. Lost the handle. Aitchison doing Josh Aitchison things. Smiler. Here he is, Josh Aitchison with the left. Can't get that to go down. Gets his own rebound. And that really sums up what the local unit can do for the Nuggets over the last few seasons. They really hustle hard. And the Nuggets have taken the lead here. And we've got a timeout. Aaron Young and the Saints need to talk about this start. Just been outworked on the defensive end, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they would have expected that. On paper, the talent definitely belongs to the Saints, but the Nuggets have that fight in them. They always have. And given they are sitting dead last in the ladder, they do want to get a win and finish off their season on a high note like we've spoken about. And if they can get an upset like this over the Wellington Saints, they definitely will look to charge ahead of that. And that's just well within their identity, is to be that kind of team that crashes the boards and it gets on loose balls. And the Saints just can't afford to be outworked right now, and they're sitting second on the ladder. If they give up those kind of things, then they can give up games.
Nuggets. They've got a tough game coming up against the Bulls next round at the Franklin Portland Leisure Centre. And they host the Tuatara. And they've got the Phi, two teams they played recently in the Tuatara and the Phi, and then they have to travel to Hawke's Bay to play the Hawks. And the Nuggets, they've got the Airs, Giants, Rams and Phi as well. Back underway out of the timeout. They can play spoiler. Liafa with the ball. Marshall picked up by Sabri. Liafa stepping into that three, loves that. And it's Hiram Harris attempting the offensive rebound, but the Nuggets get another stop. Nice pocket pass. But they shot down Aitchison, force him into a turnover. Dougal Meter. Liafa. Down by Ngatai's knees, but he managed to get the shot up. And again, an empty possession for the Saints.
I mean, it's a great look from Liafa being a playmaker. Could have taken that step back mid-range, but gave up a good shot for a great shot. And you're definitely not going to complain about a corner three for Jordan Ngatai.
Jansen going up against Hiram Harris in this one. Down to three. Carey Jr. knocking that three down. Nothing but net.
I think I've seen that exact play from Carey Jr. so many times this season. Loves a step back three. Any inch of space, he's taking that.
Isaiah Liafa allowed to get in deep there, and he's just pulling up from the Chemist Warehouse line for a midi. Jansen getting Hiram Harris on his hip, left that one short. Dougal Meter with it. Oh, Josh Aitchison read that play perfectly. Gets another possession for the Nuggets.
And that's exactly what they're going to do, Miles. They're just going to chip away. They're going to be aggressive and try to win those little battles like turnovers and offensive rebounds.
Sabri had the lane initially. Jansen dragged his man over. And Carey Jr. hot and cold. Left that one short.
He picks those up in bunches, Carey Jr. 9.3 attempts a game. So no doubt he sees a little bit of space and he's going to take it, especially the absence of Jose Perez now. One less input means a lot more offensive productivity for him.
Saints already locked into the playoffs with the Rams. Ngatai, where their final position will be, though. And
into the game for the Saints, number 3, Sam Gold.
Saints possession here. On the baseline. Liafa. Quick trigger.
Saints are 0 for 6 from the three-point line to start this one. Definitely not in line with their identity. They are a very good three-point shooting team.
Yes, they are, as we've got a whistle and a foul on the missed shot. They take threes, but not at a clip as you'd expect them, as previous seasons have suggested. Averaging around 28, 29 threes a game. That's middle of the pack for this year's version of the Sal's NBL. The three-point rate is just 39%. As the three ball is off from Carey Jr. But their three-point percentage is 35.3, second best in the league. But at the moment, a little bit cold in this first quarter as Ngatai gets his own rebound over Paddy Freeman, and he'll pick up the foul. Oh, no, it's the hook. It's Jordan Ngatai who's called for the foul there.
Well, I think that's a great look. He was faced with some pretty tough physicality, and I think he just got a little frustrated. Tried to get the look that he wanted. His three ball's not falling, so he's had to go to something else. Frustrated with the first miss, and then just gives up the cheap foul with the hook around Paddy Freeman. Paddy Freeman standing his ground. Great job from the young fella.
Turnover, Ngatai. Mazinski to his right. Goes all the way. And puts it off the glass and in.
Got his get backs against Patrick Freeman. Did the veteran.
Aitchison finds Bardsley back in the game. Tries to get up. Challenged by the Saints defense, and Matt Bardsley will go back to the line.
I believe that was on Dougal Meter as well. No trouble just yet for Mazinski. And yeah, he was just late on that rotation. Dougal Meter just turned his body sideways in the air. Again, Bardsley looking to be really aggressive. He's trying to put these Saints guys in foul trouble right now and get himself to the line, and I like it. Got to make your free throws, though.
You do. Misses both. Kaczynski with the rebounds. Foul was on Dougal Meter. Hiram Harris looking for the lead for the Saints. Trying to step through, and he does. Good defense, but better finish from Hiram Harris.
He's perfect right now. 6 points, 3 from 3 from the field, and they've really all been similar to that. He's doing a really good job right now, just ripping off the perimeter and bullying his way in.
Carey Jr. on the weak side, caught the Saints defense sagging. And they take the lead back. 15-14. Sam Gold into the game off the bench with Dougal Meter. Mazinski looking for a handoff, finds Nick Marshall, sees a double. Mazinski with the rebound, the height advantage. And he just puts it up and in.
That duo is so good. Nick Marshall just so patient. Got the blitz, the double, sorry, I should say, off the on ball. Wasn't even phased by it at all. Perfectly passed, perfectly placed to Nick Mazinski. And again, just such a good touch around the glass.
Smiler stepping to the three-point line. Sam Gold with the rebound. Here is Marshall, the Australian. Given air. And he knocks that down. You cannot sag off Nick Marshall. That is for sure. He's shooting 40% from 3 this season.
And the underrated thing about him is his balance. You can see it when he gets downhill. He plays off 2 feet really well. It can come to a stop really quick. And that, he just stopped off one dribble, pulled up, and was in his shooting motion. No doubt. So nice to watch.
Bardsley. Good defense from Mazinski. That's a tough ask for Matt Bardsley to score over Mazinski. Going the other way, and now Carey Jr. does pick up Marshall enough. Paddy Freeman. Tough. But it's Marshall who's fouled. He'll head to the Chemist Warehouse line to shoot 2.
Take another look at that. Just dusted Carey Jr. pretty easily. Paddy Freeman is not afraid to contest whatsoever, but Nick Marshall is an underrated athlete as well. The hang time was nice on that one, absorbed the contact well, and also neared an and one as well.
Named to the Boomers in their Asia Cup qualifying period. Played against Indonesia in February. Spent 4 years at the Adelaide 36ers. And he signed with the Tasmanian Jack Jumpers. The Adelaide 36ers, they put together a nice roster for next NBL season in Australia.
They're 2 imports. That's got to be one of the best duos of imports the ANBL has seen in a long time.
Montrez Harrell, who comes back to Adelaide. And Bryce Cotton, multiple MVP of the league. Speaking of fumbling the bag, the Perth Wildcats, by all accounts, just cooked that process.
Absolutely outrageous. What did he get called? The King of Lying or something like that?
The Lion King, perhaps? Tough gig to be called that in the Australian media. Marshall with it. Shot clock is off to end out the first quarter. Saints with a 5-point lead. Here's Marshall. And one. Nick Marshall powering to the cup.
He's just so athletic and so balanced. Able to put his head down and attack that hip of Jalen Sabri. Drops his shoulder just low enough. Absorbs the contact. Shrugs off Sabri and off the glass. And doesn't crack any emotion on his face while he does it either.
22-15 now. This is a good response from the Saints. Marshall looking for his 7th point in the quarter. The bulk of them coming recently. Nice touch to bring the championship banners. Misses that though. Here we go to end the first quarter. Sabri almost banked it in. But it will be a Saints 7-point lead after 1 quarter of basketball. They lead 22-15 at Te Rauparaha Arena in Wellington.
Welcome to the court for the Cells, NBL Steel. It is Taylor and... So what's that in? You guys ready? You know the drill? Taylor gets another one. Yes, Alfie! Yes, Alfie! Last one, guys. Last one. Get you in the one. Not easy coming out here. Taylor at one end. She get another one. Surely, Alfie. Good time to strike here. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. One more. One more. One more. One more. This time, Alfie, one more chance,
No mai hoki mai. Welcome back to Te Rauparaha Arena in Parirua. Saints with a 7-point lead. You can get the advantage at home if you turn up with a large meatball pizza from the Sales deal for this round. $32.99 is the price. Use that QR code. Or the online code is SalesBorder25. That's valid until Tuesday. Marshall with 6 in the quarter. Back underway. He and Hiram Harris are the leading scorers. Nick Marshall. He gets the turnover. He gives it to Harris. These two combining for the Saints. Bit of scoring run was 7 for the Nuggets, 8 for the Saints in that first quarter. Game of runs heading into this second quarter. Hiram Harris. There's Carey Jr. on him. Aitchison comes over on the double. Marshall. And he's fouled as Nick Marshall. That's the aggressiveness we saw in the game against the Tuatara recently.
And that's his third foul he's drawn, and you feel as though they've just been in those last few minutes of that first quarter, and now as well picking up where he left off. Proving himself to be really hard to guard for the Nuggets. Just so effective at getting downhill, this guy. Attacks the hip of these Nuggets guys and is very simple in the way he goes about his business. I've spoken about it. So patient and so good at decision making when he's getting in the paint.
Just a second for Josh Aitchison. Luckily for him. Marshall good on the second. 9 is the lead. 24-15. Saints extend their pressure. Carey Jr. Stepping back, taking that three. This time it's wide to the right. Another air ball. Don Carey Jr. prolific with the attempts, shoots 9 a game. Shoots them at a great clip at 40%, but just not dropping for him at the moment. Tough contested three, and he'll take a seat. Carey Jr. played all 10 minutes of that first quarter.
Yeah, I was just going to say his first seed of the game, and he's 1 for 5 from downtown, like you alluded to, Miles. Just not able to hit that clip that he usually does tonight. But you've got to say, wow, it was an athletic little turnaround there for Liafa.
Liafa just put the Jets on, attacked. went to the cup and was fouled.
Saints just look a lot better offensively than the Nuggets do. I mean, that step back contested the 3 within the first period of that shot clock for the Nuggets is just not what you want whatsoever. Saints looking very aggressive to be downhill, and I'm not surprised at all that we're seeing a timeout from the Nuggets right now.
Yeah, they're going to find themselves in a little bit of foul trouble if the Saints keep attacking them like this. Not that anybody is in foul trouble, but the Saints have certainly become more aggressive with their offense heading into the paint.
Even more the dancers out to Porirua Mouse.
24-15. Get your team merch using that QR code. You like the look of that light blue of the Otago Nuggets or the blue pinstripe classic look of the Saints. Mentioning earlier, just love to see look at the 12 championship banners. They've taken them from their home on the waterfront of Wellington. They brought them to Porirua. Not quite on the rafters here at Rauparaha Arena. And a good crowd in to see the Saints team in Porirua, just north of Wellington. Jordan Ngatai grew up.
I'd like to see it from the NZNBL as well. Plenty of games being played in different locations this year. The Rotorua gym was utilised for the Phi earlier this year, first time in over a decade, I believe. And Hawera the other night for Jets and the Sharks. And I tell you, the Green Army got there for the Jets, propelled them to a win.
What a season they're having, the Jets. It's just great to see. Perennial cellar dwellers, but they have been excellent in the NZNBL. Also, great to see the Phi take a game to Hamilton. Starved of basketball at this level at Glowbox Arena. The Phi took a game this round, in fact, and we've got a turnover, have we? Oh, great work from Nick Marshall. Forces the pressure on Darcy Knox to cough it up.
Seen a couple flashes of success like that from Nick Marshall already. That's his 3rd steal of today, if that's going to be counted up as a steal, but he's already got 2. He's been very active, not only in passing lanes, but just disrupting the dribble like that, as we saw on Darcy Knox.
Harris sticking around Aitchison, who does well to cover him. Jansen with his 3rd rebound. Nuggets need to get something going here. They started well, but they've gone cold. It's in the hands of Knox to run this offense now. Jansen attacking Mazinski, stepping through, finding Smiler, and that's good from the Nuggets.
Exactly what they need to do. There's no way that Jansen is going to be able to just attack Mazinski one-on-one and find success out of it. Really like the activity off the ball from Caleb Smiler, and his role, it's exactly what he needs to do every time.
Alpha looking for his first 3, 0 for 4 to start the game. Jansen, Smiler, Knox for 3. Marshall with the board. Has 8 points already. Here comes the Aussie. Stepping through and in. Too easy for Nick Marshall. Moves to double digits quickly. He's 3 for 4 from the floor for his 10. Jansen for 3. Marshall with a rebound. He's doing it all at the moment, is Nick Marshall. Hiram Harris playing point forward. He'll get to the cup. Just left it short. The Nuggets defense just so passive at the moment. Sabri, he gets to the cup, and then the Saints easily let him go. Nato was cutting through, but Marshall, heat check time, bangs it down.
Wow, you're right, Miles. This is some really passive defense from the Nuggets. It's all good and well for them to get downhill to the cup on the offensive end, but this Saints team looks too good offensively right now to let things go. And there's no way that Nick Marshall should ever be able to just get downhill as easily as he has and then be wide open for a 3-point shot.
Sabri settles for a 3, but it doesn't matter. It is good. He's 1 for 2 from deep.
But again, their productivity on the offensive end doesn't count if they can't get some stops on the defensive side of the ball.
The Alpha likes this matchup. Aitchison does well. Ngatai strokes the 3 ball. Starting to rain triples now for the Saints.
Yeah, they were 1 for 7 coming into this quarter, and now they've hit 2 back-to-back. This could be very, very dangerous scenes for the Nuggets if they have to defend the perimeter and the paint as well.
Ngatai slipped. Jansen gets the bucket. 10 is the lead. And the Saints are 3 for 10. Dugawita into the game for the Saints. See Ngatai just slipping there. Sam Gold is in the game as well. Bardsley's back for the Nuggets.
I like this injection of Matthew Bardsley to be the primary defender on Nick Marshall. Someone that's willing to get up and in and apply a lot of pressure, and he can match the athleticness of Nick Marshall as well.
Mazinski just a little bit too far out. He's got a great hook. Little push shot on either hand as well, but that one just a little bit too far out. And now it's Jansen attacking his shoulder. Jono Jansen, that's better from the Nuggets.
Mazinski is not happy about conceding that foul either. And Jansen is very smart to tempt him to get out to the perimeter. And then you just see there, it was too far of a closeout for Mazinski. He kind of leaped forward as Jansen started to attack him, so no doubt he was in a position where he kind of had to foul. And that's exactly what the Nuggets want, is to try and get Mazinski in that foul trouble so they just don't even have to deal with him at all.
Mike Kelly doing some coaching with Jalen Sabri. Timeout called. Coach Aaron Young. We need to talk about it. Can't let Nuggets get back in the game in his eyes. So timeout called with 5:45 to go in this half.
Really like what Coach Aaron Young has done with the Saints this season. They had a talented roster last year, but the culture was just not there, and you just felt them kind of self-implode a little bit, especially near the end of the season. So Aaron Young has done a really good job to get back on board and inject something else into this organisation, and they are a serious contender for the title, the South NBL this year, and it's very encouraging signs to see.
34-26. It's been a game of runs so far, hasn't it?
Like, what does Phil Jackson call basketball? Game of chess?
Yeah, it really is.
You read his book before, Miles?
I read about half of it.
Pretty hard read, eh?
Yeah.
He's a lot more mindful than I am, that's for sure.
Certainly.
That's what I found out pretty quickly.
Hiram Harris rebounds the miss. Liafa. Turnover. Firing up ahead to Jansen. And Jansen again to the line. Jono Jansen providing the offense for the Nuggets.
Yeah, love that from Jono Jansen. We'll certainly take another look at that on the GJ Gardner Holmes replay. Sam Gold really just didn't need to give that one up. He came across and gave a cheap spike to add it late. If you're going to give up a foul like that, you at least want to make sure that Jono Jansen doesn't make the bucket. 17.2 points a game for Jansen.
Knowing Coach Aaron Young relatively well, that will just annoy him no end out of that timeout. A turnover and then an and one. Now the lead is 5. Good response by the Nuggets here. Lead was starting to blow out a little bit. Oh no. That is not going to help either.
Not exactly what Aaron Young, like you said, would have wanted out of the timeout whatsoever. And those two Liafa passes have just been miscalculated. They're not any forced error in any regard. He's just thrown them a little too forward in front of his Saints teammate. Very unorthodox. It's very uncharacteristic from Isaiah Liafa for him to do those kind of things, and I'm sure that'll be the end of that.
It certainly is. Good double. Hiram Harris adamant it didn't come off him, but it will be Nuggets ball.
Never comes off you, eh?
Never, ever, ever.
You could throw it out of bounds and still claim. Not me.
Somebody touched it. Oh, what a look to Bardsley. Just slipping past the defense. Lead is now 3 for the Saints. It was 12. Liafa's fouled on the drive through.
That's a good response there from Liafa. Turned the ball over the last 2 possessions, just put his head down and got to the rim, got a foul. And that's a great response from the Saints, who are currently in the trenches, and you feel the life has been sucked out of Porirua at the moment. The loud crowd went to silent pretty quickly, and it's going to take a veteran like that for Liafa to just put a stop to that and get a little balance here for the Saints.
Liafa good on the first. That's both. Does Isaiah Liafa, 71% foul shooter on the season. Saints lead now 5. Sabri. Jansen wanted that to go up. He turned it over with a bounce pass. Hiram Harris turned it over himself. Collision in mid-court. And now everybody's down. I reckon we've got half of the court on the floor as Dougal Meter has stayed down. Might have just copped one on the jaw, on the chin there. That's Hiram Harris. He just runs into Carey Jr. And then Sabri goes down. Paddy Freeman goes flying.
A little domino effect.
Dougal Meter goes to the floor as well. And after all of that, it'll be Nuggets ball.
Some, again, uncharacteristic turnovers. There was the Sabri pass right into Hiram Harris's pocket, and then Hiram Harris just, the ball just flew out of his hands. We've seen a couple of those from Liafa as well. 5 turnovers apiece for both teams. 7 points from turnovers for the Nuggies and 6 for the Saints.
Again, it's it's Bardsley getting free. That play has caught them out a couple of times now, or a variation of it on that inbounds. Bardsley will go to the line to shoot 2. 4th team foul for the Saints, just a 3 for the Nuggets. Zinski back into the game.
6 points already for Matthew Bardsley, averages 4 a game, and he's already played 10 minutes, averages 14 off the bench, so very much an increased role for him here tonight, and he's taking those chances and he likes them, proving Mike Kelly why he should be a consistent part of the starting lineup.
2 for 5 from the line, now 2 for 6, Matt Bardsley. Picks up the defensive assignment on Nick Marshall. Switched from Jansen onto the Australian, and now it's Gold giving it back to Marshall. Hiram Harris. Right hand finish, no one there to challenge it. And Hiram Harris gives the Saints a 7-point lead.
Really like the off-ball actions that the Saints use and the way they use it to get an advantage. Jordan Artai with a nice tip in the passing lane there. I think the Saints offense looks really good when they have their downhill drivers coming out of something that gives them an advantage and they can just capitalize on it. And like you said, Miles, there's no one there to contest Hiram Harris whatsoever. That's a make every day of the week.
Jalen Sabri. Hiram Harris. Turned over, Bardsley with it. Saints try and get back, but Bardsley with the left. Up and in, Matt Bardsley doing things here, elevated to the starting unit. Matt Stoddard went down with an injury before the game. And so it's going to be Matt Bardsley picking up the foul there. It's going to be a Matt Bardsley second quarter here, just energy off the bench into the starting unit.
And these kind of games are what Matt Bardsley absolutely loves. He gets fired up by tough matchups and games with the underdogs and matchups that he likes to be part of. Likes to be the one to step up and guard their prolific player.
Some players just enjoy playing that role, don't they? They embrace it. Hearing their number called, you pick up the guy who's hot. You pick up the guy who's dribbling. who's penetrating. See if you can shut them down. Just be a nuisance. Stay in front. That's what Barnsley's done in this first quarter. Hiram Harris. He's 29. His birthday's on Tuesday. That's the second. 40 to 33.
Saints do a good job to just triple switch that off-ball action there. Completely neutralises it.
Nato took a shot as he committed the foul. That's the 15th foul for the Saints. So shots for the Nuggets here with 2:42 to go in the half. Jordan Nato, a little bit of discomfort.
Back into the game for the Saints, number 1,
Marshall back.
Marshall's been so good today. 13 points, 2 rebounds and assists as well, and 3 steals to go along with that stat line already.
Nato will take a seat. Free throw shooting, Maya Williamson.
If you're a kid listening and watching at home, the fundamentals are the things that you want to nail. If you can be a good free throw shooter, you're a valuable basketball player.
Now 4 for 10 from the line. And guess what the difference is in the game? It's 6. Harris. Saints conversely 9 for 11. Harris goes down, finds Liafa. 10 to shoot. Nice work from Liafa. Finds Sam Gold all alone and too long.
Surprised to see that from Sam Gold. He hit 2 for 4, I believe, in Sky Broadband rapidly. They were from the corner, so maybe that's his spot. But nevertheless, he's going to be a guy that's got to come off the bench and knock down open threes. That's his role. He's going to be open because a lot of the defense is drawn by their drivers like Liafa and Marshall. He's just got to hit those.
Nuggets doing a good job here of just dragging the Saints down to their level. The Saints like to push the pace when they can, although pace has been a problem for them this season. They're 8th in pace with 81%. They look like they were really pushing it against the passive at times Nuggets defense. But that's tightened up here as we head to the 2-minute mark. And then an aggressive move from Carey Jr. just hanging on the Saints defense. Is that going to be on Mazinski? Don Carey Jr. spent some time with the Maine Celtics in the G League. 25 years old. Handful of schools in NCAA. Spent his last year at Maryland, 2 years before that at Georgetown. This is the first one.
That's actually kind of the Achilles heel so far for the Nuggets this season. They are dead last in free throw percentage, 67%. And there it is a game. They get to the Chemist Warehouse 20 times a game as well. So they are given opportunities end on end, but just can't capitalize at below 70%.
Marshall in the key again. No one really challenging that shot. Only average around 2.4 blocks a game this season to the Nuggets. Carey Jr. Good work on the glass by Aitchison. Unlucky not to get that to go down, that putback. Now Liafa hanging off the glass and in. Isaiah Liafa, the strength of the man.
Yeah, that was just veteran versus rookie stuff, as I believe the Nuggets are going to be forced into a timeout here. Caleb Smiler very much showing the fact that he's a young gun in that matchup, and love that from Liafa. He's stone cold from the three-point line at the moment, 0 for 4. So just turning into a little bit of an attacker at the moment, whether that be on a distribution mission or to get his own, and it's a much better look for him.
Smart timeout from Mikey Kelly. The lead hitting 10 and a minute 22 to go in the first half. Just need to get that
contain their drive without fouling, but they're unable to capitalize. And I think the Saints will be happy with giving away a foul every now and then if it means sending the Nuggets to the Chemist Warehouse stripe where they are actually really struggling. And like you said, this could be a completely different game. Had they made more free throws, it's not a 10-point deficit.
It's a simple equation when you add the missed foul shots, but it doesn't mean that the complexion of the game stays the same as it has right now. It does alter it somewhat, but you just can't leave those points. If you're looking to close a deficit, those are points you just leave on the line there, the Chemist Warehouse strike. They'll come back to haunt you in the second half. Nuggets ball, minute 22 to go. What will they have up their sleeves? Which is hard to do when they're wearing singlets.
Ha.
But it will be Don Carey Jr. with it, operating with Jansen up high. Aitchison. Niafa with the rebound.
2 for 13 from downtown now for the Nuggets.
Oh, good steal. Just a little bit casual with the dribble. Sabri. And we've got a foul underneath. I think it's on Nick Marshall.
Don't think the Nuggets want to settle for early shot clock contested looks at the moment, given they only have 34 points nearing halftime and they are trailing by 10. They'd want to search for a quality shot in every single possession. I think they probably want to look to be a little more patient in situations like that.
In fact, it's not on Marshall. It's a foul underneath on the Nuggets. And it's a foul on Sam Gold, who will head to the line all the way down the other end because it's now bonus territory for the Saints. Here is a replay of the foul, and then you can just see there Aitchison with the push.
Yeah, any moment you put two hands on the back of someone, you are putting yourself in dangerous territory, especially right in front of the Barcard officials.
So there's 29 seconds out of that timeout as Gold misses the second. The lead is now 11.
Let's go, Portugal.
Aitchison. Jansen up high, facing up on Mazinski. Shot clock's down to 7. Jansen. What a lot doing for the Nuggets. So they settle for a 3 through Sabri. Not bad offense.
I'm just criticizing their three-point percentage at the moment, but you will absolutely take that. Sabri gets himself to double digits. And at the moment, the Nuggets will take any shot they can get.
Absolutely. It wasn't by design. But any offense is good offense when it goes through the rim. Saints holding the ball. Shot clock is off. Harris goes and gets the roll. And that'll do us for the first quarter. Aitchison tried to call the BNZ player timeout. But it's a 47-37 advantage. And I think he did get it just in time. I think there's going to be a little bit of conferring. No, that is it. First half is over. They wave it off. Aitchison, I think he has a case. He's pleading it at the moment at half court, but it's been made, the decision to end the half. Saints with a 10-point lead in Porirua.
This week's halftime competition brought to you by Game Day sponsor and It's the Mills Alberts families taking on the local team, Porirua Heat. Porirua, let's welcome to the court, make some noise! Are we doing 5-on-5 or? kids are used to playing here in Rauparaha Arena, but are they used to playing in between the halftime of a Stars NBL game? There's the bright lights, you've got many people watching you, but no doubt they're here for the occasion. Do we have a referee? Because it ain't me, I'll tell you that much. Paulie! Hey! No? Yes, Paulie! And we're on! Let's go! Put a little heat with the first position. And the intercept from the Mills Albert team. Zero man goes in, and he's got the first two on the board with the Mills Albert team. Here comes the Heat answering back, and the turnover. Looking calm over there. Another turnover, all the pressure. Whistle ring. Shoot it two. Silence. That's what good.
Welcome back to Rauparaha Arena in Parirua, just north of Wellington. And the Saints have a bit of a fight on their hands. They've got a 10-point lead over the Nuggets here at half-time. The Nuggets just seem to be hanging around. There's some points on the foul line. The offense hasn't been as smooth as they would have wanted, but and certainly not out of this game by any stretch of the imagination, Maya Williamson.
Not at all, Andrew Mulligan. They trail only by 10, but it's going to be the second half. It's going to prove the difference. Nick Marshall leading all scorers, went on an absolute heater at the end of the first quarter and start of the second. Hiram Harris has been really solid as well. Liafa, Ngatai, Chipinen and Brzezinski a little quieter than I would have imagined. Sabri, he's been really good for the Nuggets at getting some end of shot clock magical threes to go. Jansen, he's made it a point for him to be aggressive early. Bardsley as well has really taken that starting lineup seriously. 2 rebounds, of course. Who else would top that stat category than Hiram Harris? Brzezinski in there as well. Jono Jansen is going to be across most of the stat categories we see today. He's been the primary matchup for Brzezinski and actually done a really good job. Sabri in there as well. Aitchison putting in some shift on the offensive glass is Aitchison. And Liafa being the main distributor for the Saints. He's struggled on the offensive end. No threes for him just yet, which is out of character. So gone to more of a distributing role. Harris and Marshall in there. Jansen, again, stat categories are stuffed by him. Carey Jr., just the one for him. Brzezinski, no doubt, leads the league in this category. 2 blocks for him and none for anybody else. Hiram Harris and Nick Marshall getting their hands in the cookie jar. Liafa and Brzezinski as well. Aitchison and Jansen with 2 apiece. Aitchison has been so good at just winning the little battles. Carey Jr. and Sabri in there as well.
The official stats partner of the Sales NBL is the Chemist Warehouse. Some team stats for you as well. The Saints shooting 56%. They're 17 of 30 from the floor, just 3 of 11 from deep, doing their damage from inside. They're 14 of 19. Conversely, the Nuggets shooting 44%. It's a +7 rebound advantage for the Saints on the glass. Just 2 offensive rebounds, though, for the Saints, 3 for the Nuggets. We'll take a break here to Rauparaha Arena, Parirua, north of Wellington. About half an hour's drive up the road. And the Saints with a 47-37 advantage at the break.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Basketbol Basketbol and the Mills Albert family team. Outstanding work, kids. If you are looking for a good look with club here and put it on the body of your heat, this is a good club to join. Head up the line around the team. If you're looking at playing in the near future.
Welcome back to Porirua. The Saints hosting the Nuggets in the NZNBL round 11. 47-37 at halftime. Nuggets looking for some consistency in their offensive execution out of halftime. One of the great defenders in basketball is the halftime break. See how Bardsley and the Nuggets can come out of this halftime interval and see you can contain the Saints as consistently as they had done in patches through the first half.
It's going to be a tough ask, though, for the Otago Nuggets. Nick Marshall, 15 points on the night so far. Hiram Harris with 12 and, of course, 5 rebounds as well. It's only Sabri who has reached double digits with just 10 points, 57% from the field for him. But the offensive production outside of that has been relatively quiet, especially from Kerry Jr. Only 6 points for him, 1 from 5 from three-point land, where he shoots at roughly 40%.
Have we lost connection?
Kerry Jr. shooting at 40% from the season. Only 1 three-point make for him tonight. He's led the offense for the Otago Nuggets all season long, 22.5 points a game. 7th in scoring in this entire league, and just being kept quiet tonight. No doubt that's a big factor for the Nuggets, being trailing by 10 and only having 37 points in the half.
This would be one of the lowest scoring starting fives in the league for the Nuggets. Just having also a little bit of disruption to their bench, elevating Matt Bardsley up as well. I mean, he averages 4, but he's doing a great job at both ends of the floor, as he's wont to do in the Sal's NBL. But it's just been a lack of creativity, as you mentioned, just getting that execution going. For the Saints, no Shea Ely. A lot of the playmaking ability has gone on the shoulders of Isaiah Liafa. Even then, to start the game, they chucked it into Jordan Ngatai on the post, and they've gone away from that. And they really saw a lot of success with that early on. But you're right, Muzinski hasn't quite had the offensive game. Certainly had it against the Tuatara. He would go to the low block, went off both shoulders with those push shots. Really good in the paint. But it's been Nick Marshall who's been tremendous, 5 of 6 from the floor, 15 points for him. Second half underway.
You're right, I'd love to see them go to Jordan Ngatai again. He is super versatile and hasn't had his night from beyond the arc either, but so efficient in that back down game. It's really hard to guard.
Marshall penetrating. Nice defense to begin the half. Nuggets, Saints going with the high elbow action, and Nuggets just hung tough.
I don't think they executed out of the best spacing they could have in that possession either, the Saints, so kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit as well.
Marshall given room. Saints get the offensive rebound through Muzinski. And he can't get the roll, but he will head to the Chemist Warehouse stripe to shoot 2.
So good, that Nick Muzinski. Even though he wasn't involved in that offense at all, he was hanging around, he was staying ready, and you could see John O'Jansen had to be engaged with him the entire time, because at any given point this guy can appear. And he averages 2.3 offensive rebounds a game. Jansen's got to do a better job at just turning and pushing him out. We'll take another look on the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Look, if you're Jansen, you can't afford to just turn your back like that and hope for the best. You've got to put your forearm into him and push him out and hope there's some gang rebounding going on, because he can't do it as one man against Nick Muzinski.
Jansen up high. Cutting through his Bardsley. Aitchison felt the bump, gets the roll. You saw Sabri cutting through the lane, and Aitchison just couldn't quite create with the pass. Felt the contact. He'll head to the line.
Love what I'm seeing from Josh Aitchison today. He's brought an energy for the Nuggets. 2 steals for him, couple rebounds. 2 of them being on the offensive side of things, and then clearly just showing some kind of mission he has offensively as well.
Missed the N1. Harris. There is Aitchison again. Harris charging into the chest of Josh Aitchison. Turnover for the Saints.
There he goes again, like you said, Aitchison willing to put his body on the line. We'll take another look at it.
Oh, that's
dead right.
Great positioning.
Yeah.
Outside that defensive charge circle there.
And got there early enough. He was not moving whatsoever. Took it square in the chest. That is a textbook charge, and you could just see the smile wiped across his face. Must be pretty sore, though. That must be a tough one to take from Hiram Harris.
Now Bardsley spinning around. Liafa got a piece of it. Sabri. Bardsley can't corral the offensive rebound, and the Saints have it. Here comes Liafa. Hiram Harris again into the chest of Aitchison. Takes it. Turnover. Carey Jr. crossing half court. And Hiram Harris pokes it away. Stays with the Nuggets. Plenty of time on the shot clock with 14.
He's had a couple of those odd ones, Hiram Harris. 3 turnovers for him already, and I feel as though a couple of them have just been him driving downhill and losing the ball. It just pops out of his hand. The Saints, they don't want to give up too many of those. Just feeding possessions for the Nuggets.
And a 3-ball is good for Carey Jr. Lead is 7 for the Saints. Nuggets much better out of the halftime break. At both ends. Harris, left shoulder into the chest of Jansen, who got a piece of him, and it counts.
Next play mentality at its finest for Hiram Harris. Gave up the charge, then turned the ball over, back at it again, and doing what he does best. Soldiering his way through, bullying his way through. Extremely efficient. Tonight, 71% before that make. And that, again, is just what he does best. The Nuggets cannot guard this kind of action when they're just getting bullied and backed down.
Hiram Harris at the line now, looking to convert the 3-point play opportunity. Makes it. 10 is the lead. Putting a bit of size, bit of length of Sam Gold on Carey Jr. Takes the switch onto Sabri now, does Sam Gold off the bench, the young man. Jansen looking at Mazinski. That's just tough defense. That's a shot clock violation. Good defense from the Saints. Excellent defense from Mazinski.
Saints are such a good offensive team, and the Nuggets are really not helping themselves at the moment. It just feels like every action they're involved in, there is no intent to actually use the action or get an advantage out of the action. They're not hitting bodies on screens. They're not turning the corner out of handoffs. They're not sprinting into their actions. They're just not helping themselves with their execution.
That's better ball movement from the Saints. Some high-low action. Harris with the assist to Mazinski, the American.
And you for sure want to get Mazinski involved.
Sabri thought about it, hesitated. Front rims the 3-point attempt, and the Saints have it. Mazinski wants it. He's got a mismatch. Marshall, and there is the mismatch though, because Mazinski just powers over the top. Bardsley felt the effect of that offensive rebound. Timeout called. And he's down on his haunches.
Welcome back to the court.
Bardsley. So the lead has gone to 14 now.
And yeah, there's just not much you really could have done about that. But again, if you're anybody else, you just can't afford to turn and box a guy like Mazinski. You've really got to turn and try to push him out as far as you can. He is right under the rim as he's grabbing that one as Bardsley.
He copped an elbow to the side of the head after that ball went in from Mazinski, inadvertent, and he's not 100%.
You don't play about a knock to the head either.
You just have to ask Shayeli there, right of the screen. He has concussion-like symptoms, and that's why he's been missing the last couple of games, taking every precaution. He's suffered some tough knocks.
Yeah.
Has Shayeli.
Saw it the other night in the Jets-Sharks game as well. Kenny Goins took a little knock to the head and just sat the rest of the game. Definitely not something you want to roll the dice on.
.56-42. Still plenty of time in this game. But this Saints team starting to feel themselves a little bit here. Got Golden Dougal Meter in game 101 in his career out there. Nuggets, how can they respond out of a timeout? Carey Jr., Marshall on him. Carey Jr. fighting around those screens. Mazinski got him. Mazinski saying that he jumped forward. He really was in that landing zone. It wasn't an egregious jump forward on that 3-point shot. So it will be Carey Jr. at the line. He's an 88% foul shooter as well. Foul shots from the Chemist Warehouse line have been a problem in this game.
And what is that? 4 for 13. 30%.
No, that's a big problem then.
That's a large problem, you're right. I don't know if I've seen a game where a team has shot 30% from the stripe. Am I reading the right category? I am.
They're 5 for 14, and they're 4 for 18 from 3.
Wow.
Their free throw percentage is starting to look a lot like a three-point percentage.
Yeah. Oh.
And this is the
Oh my
second.
goodness. And, you know, just the sheer volume so far, that's attempt number 15 for Carey Jr. That's plenty of opportunities that you've just been given. And I spoke about before, they've done a good job at drawing the fouls, but far out, if I'm the Saints, I'm just fouling these guys and sending them to the chemist's warehouse.
Liafa. Gold with the high on ball. Bounce pass, pocket pass. And Sam Gold's fouled by Carey Jr.
You can just see Sabri and Aitchison there communicating. I feel as though they were a little unsure about what their screen coverage exactly was. Liafa did a good job to get back to the side that he originally came from, cause some confusion, and a late rotation means a foul for Carey Jr.
Just his first. Sam Gold at the line. Nice pass from Liafa. Freeman and Knox come into the game for Mark Kelly and the Nuggets.
Just 6 minutes off the bench so far for Patrick Freeman. I feel like he would be trusting him to burn some minutes, serious minutes. He stands his own when he's in that contest down low, and no Nick Mazinski means he can get a fair bit of burn here, I'd imagine.
Sam Gold was a Saint last season. Played some NAIA in America for the Milligan University. Gives them good burn off the bench. Dougal Meter. Liafa. Hiram Harris. Plenty of time on the shot clock. 8 now. Liafa. Gold. Needs to be in the corner if he wants to make a 3. We saw that in a Rapid League. Those wing balls aren't dropping in the Sal's NBL game. Liafa almost stole it.
Come on.
Knox. Nice work from Darcy Knox. Game 100.
Yeah, big congratulations to Darcy Knox for completing 100 in his career, doing it all with the Otago Nuggets, as well as Marshall there draws the foul on Smiler. Nick Marshall has proven himself to be a very tough matchup for the Nuggets. It feels as though every time he attacks, he's drawing a foul. It is the 4th foul that he's drawn on this Nuggets squad.
Marshall at the line today is 3 of 5.
You just see there under their championship strip on the uniform, the KB with a love heart. Of course, rest in love to Kevin Braswell.
Yeah, emotional scenes on the weekend after Brex won the championship in Japan. Paul Henare posting as well, sharing the love for Zico Coronel. In tears post-game, dedicating the win to Kevin Braswell's kids. Of course, Kevin Braswell, former coach of the Saints, his passing earlier this year, really rocking the basketball community, not just here in New Zealand, but around the world. Former Georgetown Hoya, former Breaker, Southland Sharks as well.
Let's see you.
Tough loss for everybody involved in Kevin Braswell's life. As Dougal Meter turns it over. Carey Jr., athletic move on the baseline. Jagged that dribble, hung in the air and put it in.
Much better scenes there from Carey Jr. Love when he's aggressive and gets to the rim. He's a really good athlete, has really good hang time, and absorbs contact really well at the rim.
Marshall gets it back from Harris. Bobbled, clean look for Hiram Harris. Can't get that roll. Just keeping the Nuggets at arm's length, though, are the Saints.
Yeah, lack of offensive execution does not help for the Nuggets.
Freeman Felt the bump. No whistle. Ngatai, the strength of the man, just holding it. And he has the ball.
You can just feel a massive disconnect with the Otago Nuggets offense right now. Nothing really flowing, no synergy whatsoever for them as they make the Ngatai assignment very hard. But there you go, Miles. Going back to that back down game for Ngatai, like you mentioned earlier, and they have to foul to stop him.
Born and raised in Porirua, where they're playing this afternoon. Rauparaha Arena.
Ngatai's been pretty quiet by his standards tonight, just 7 points. Make that 8.
What version is your favourite of Jordan Ngatai? Mine's FIBA Jordan.
Yeah, I was going to agree with that one, where he just
takes over.
Yeah, absolutely. Even saw flashes of it earlier this year, their Asia Cup qualifying series. When he gets hot, he really, really gets hot.
Took it to the Philippines at Spark Arena, which had an electric atmosphere and those amazing fans.
Yeah, that is the loudest arena I've ever been in my life. Couldn't hear myself think, couldn't hear the call.
What? You've broadcast at Cowes. What a block from Jordan Ngatai. How can you say that Spark Arena is louder than Cowes?
Because there was like 10,000 Philippines in the house. They get loud. They get behind their team. You should have seen the scenes. They were lining up 2 hours before the doors
there.
even opened. And then
they stormed the court.
They do. And before the game, there was the shoot around and they were trying to get signatures and pictures with the players. I was like, there's not a single Tall Blacks fan in the house at the moment. It's just outrageous.
Sabri with a nice little runner on the baseline. Ngatai can't get it to go down, and it's Sabri rather with the rebound himself. Finds Jansen. Oh, Sam Gold. Nice defense up until he fouled him.
No emotion on his face though, Sam Gold. Love that. Just goes about his business. Wouldn't be happy with that foul whatsoever, but love that from Jansen. He's been nice and aggressive tonight. Hasn't scored so far in the second half, and that continues with another missed free throw. We'll take another look at that on the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Sam Gold did a really good job to stay in his cylinder there, but did bump him a little bit. That is 6 from 17 from the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
7 of 18, and my goodness.
Wow. And again, it's not as simple as just adding those points onto the scoreboard and Bob's your uncle, but that definitely does change the game, like you were saying earlier, Miles.
It just makes everything a little bit more interesting in terms of defensive intensity, offensive execution. And as you say, you can just end up fouling players. No one's in foul trouble really, except Ngatai and Dougal Meter. They have 3 each out there on the floor at the moment for the Saints. 3 for Mazinski. Picks up another one. That might make life a little bit interesting in the middle for the Saints. Sam Gold, younger brother of Ben Gold, who's getting ready for his senior season at Marquette.
Yeah, it's been really cool to see him performing on such a big stage with Marquette. Obviously, headed to the March Madness a couple of times. Always a good sense of pride back here in Aotearoa to see a Kiwi competing on those kind of stages. Charlize Leger-Walker, a great example of that.
Now at UCLA, rehabbing that leg. Hopefully she'll be back in action when the season tips off later this year.
I believe she is all cleared to play now. I've heard from sister Crystal Leger-Walker.
Smiler kept his pivot foot. Well done, Caleb Smiler. Good poise. There's a smile for the Saints as well. That makes the lead 10 for the home team.
And it's a timely bucket for the Nuggets. A 10-point deficit is nothing to really be concerned about. And if you're going to continue a tough night of shooting for Leafa, you can be encouraged.
Smiler does the work again. Just dropping the shoulder into the chest of Nick Marshall. And timeout, Aaron Young. A 5-point quick hit by Caleb Smiler on the Nuggets. Makes life a little bit uncomfortable for the Saints with 2 minutes to go on the third.
Yeah, look, Smiler's a great energy guy, right? Saw it in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Just electrified the Nuggets offense and defense, and is bringing that same energy here in the South's NBL. He is not afraid of anything. Clearly, as you see, he bumps off import Nick Marshall, and has kind of just been this little spark that the Nuggets have needed, and is actually putting the ball to the bottom of the net, which always helps.
This offense needs some go. Getting valuable minutes off the bench for the likes of Caleb Smiler. I mean, they only have 7 bench points. The bench is shorter because they've had to elevate Bardsley up into the starting position. He's in starting 5. 5 for Smiler, he's 2 for 3.
Averages just 2 points a game as well, Smiler, so as well as well above his pay grade already. And speaking of bench points, just 5 for the Saints in general, all coming from Sam Gold. Saw similar scenes for them against the Tuatara. They had 4 bench points in that entire matchup.
They're only going with 7 in this game, really. Pilcher's had 7 seconds, and it's Dougal, Meter and Gold getting the bulk of the minutes off the bench. And those 5 points aren't from the field as well for Gold, or from the free throw line. The Chemist Warehouse strike. But it's enough at the moment. A nice pocket pass again. Oh, kids, the floor is your friend. Use it. Like Isaiah Liafa has done. It's Corey Webster-esque.
That pocket pass,
yeah,
so elite. When you can master that, then you become a real problem in a pick and roll situation. And again, Liafa's so good with whoever it is in that empty corner pick and roll. And how about that from Paddy Freeman?
Analytics be damned. Take that 19-foot 2-point shot, Paddy.
Lost art, but I love it.
Marshall, oh, that's pretty.
He's just so efficient. Up to 19 points now, Nick Marshall. You just feel as though every time he gets downhill, it's going to be a bucket. He's so good at absorbing contact, playing off 2 feet, and has such a great touch.
Paddy, feel yourself. He can't get that to go down. Nick Marshall is 6 for 9 for his 19 points. Ngatai thought about it, driving, easy. Jordan Ngatai.
That's just veteran status from him. He's 1 for 4 tonight from deep, but knows that he is a hot closeout no matter the situation, and he can afford to attack that as Carey Jr. misses another. And Ngatai has well recognized that no help from the Nuggets whatsoever. That was an easy lay.
Going for the 2 for 1, I think, on that quick hit from the Nuggets. Didn't quite work out. Here comes Liafa. Ngatai. Great rebound. Mazinski stripped and fouled.
3 O-boards for Nick Mazinski now. And they've been pretty easy. He's hardly even been contested. I feel like he's barely left the floor when he grabs those offensive rebounds. That's a real issue for the Nuggets, and they don't have much else they can go to. I mean, Jansen and Patrick Freeman, really their main forwards. You can group Josh Aitchison in there as well.
Mazinski now 13 points, 5 of 6 from the floor, 6 rebounds. This is the second. 12 seconds. Here comes Carey Jr. Spinning, using all of the clock. Good defense, Sam Gold. Mazinski has a crack, but that'll be the third quarter over. Saints comfortably ahead here in Porirua, 71 to 58.
With the Saints up over the Nuggets, 71 to 58. So let's welcome to the court. Teams go towards the banners. Let's get it. What do you think? An air ball, okay? What do you think? That's an air ball. That is an air ball. You're up for that. Go play teams. 6 or more often, I think. It's time for Bus to move, ladies and gentlemen. So dance along with the Sales Angels. They see you up dancing, you could be taking home some goodies. So get up, move around, Bus to move with the Sales Angels. I see heaps of kids have manners and what it was. Keep moving along with the Sales Angels. McGill has got a ball to give away, but he's got to see, he's got to be up and dancing. Here's Hunter. I see you. I see you, Nicky. Here's McGill. Okay, that's a new one.
Welcome back to Rauparaha Arena in Porirua, Wellington. Saints taking their home game just north of the city. They have a 13-point lead here. Great crowd in for a Saturday afternoon on a long weekend. They've just given up on the cooking duties. May I suggest a large meatball pizza, $32.99 from Sal's. That's great value, Maya Williamson.
Absolutely. My partner's not home to cook dinner tonight when I get home, so maybe I'll scan that QR code myself.
That's a great idea.
Blow out the budget for the week, but you know, who cares? At least I'm saving money with that great deal. Come on.
You certainly are. That's that kind of economics I appreciate.
Girl math. I think it's been coined.
Loath for me to call it that. Guy math in my case as well. Carey Jr. Misses that to start the fourth.
And that brings the Nuggets to 5 from 23 from deep. And the Saints not doing much better. 3 from 19. Liafa 0 for 6.
Don't worry, he'll hit the next 4 or 5,
Yeah,
Isaiah
probably.
Liafa. He's prone to do that, as Marshall just had the physicality on him a little bit too much. Felt like he was fouled.
Might be one of the only times I've seen some emotion written across this guy's face. He's been very calm tonight.
I don't know if Caleb Smiler was going to apologise there or not, but he definitely shoved Marshall after that.
He's a competitor, that guy.
Certainly is. Jansen. Nice from Jono Jansen. He moves to 12. He's got 6 rebounds, 2 assists and 2 steals as Jono Jansen. Mazinski. Nartai, wing 3. Is good. Jordan Nartai. He's got 14 and that's his second triple.
There it is. There's that guy, and love that from Liafa. A slight shot fake for him. Had the Nuggets defense bite and then gave up a good shot for an even better one.
Jansen. Oh, dropping it off. Pretty for Sabri.
But you just feel a lack of energy, right, in the gym right now. The
I think
Nuggets
everywhere. Listen to it.
pin drop. You can hear a pin drop. And for the Nuggets, that's not what they want. They're only down 12, right? It's very much a deficit they can come back from, but not if they're going to have the energy like that.
Hiram Harris, all hustle and heart. Loses the handle. Sabri's fouled. Oh, it counts. Nick Marshall couldn't get out of the way. Jaden Sabri will head to the line. Hopefully it goes in.
Oh, I don't know, 7 from 18, Miles. That's got to be one of the worst nights from the Chemist Warehouse stripe this season, 38%.
It's his first trip to the Chemist Warehouse stripe tonight. Usually a 63% shooter. Nick Marshall leads the game MVP vote on the mixandpick.com poll. Use that QR code to have your chance to have a vote. Jono Jansen, the only Nugget name on there. No one's voting for any of the Nuggets. It's cold. It's cold out on those streets.
It quite literally is. Cold place, Dunedin. You know.
Absolutely. Spent some formative years down there. They are for missing that. Bardsley spinning, dropping that off to Smiler. Those two connecting. Smiler's been great off the bench for the Nuggets.
You love the energy that he's brought on both ends of the floor. You see him getting in the mix with Nick Marshall earlier, and he's been really good at that off-ball movement. That's exactly what he needs to do as a role player, and this is dangerous scenes.
Sabri's injured. He caught a stinger on the arm. He is not 100% at all. Liafa for three. That can't go down. See how Sabri pulls up here. I just caught a dead arm. Pulls up from the Chemist Warehouse line. He's okay.
Suddenly he's going to play some offense, and I don't feel so bad anymore. And look at that, Miles. It's 5 points. Like this is a game.
Saints in a spot of bother here. Nuggets have been terrific to start the fourth quarter. Marshall. Turnover. Sabri with it. Bardsley's up ahead. Saints get back. Carey Jr. checked his feet. Dropping it off for Bardsley. And the lead is now 3. Yes, they do. Coach Aaron Young calls time.
Wowee.
This has been absolutely lackluster from the gym. Listen to it. They're stunned in Porirua.
And I'm not surprised in any regard. The Saints had a comfortable lead. It was at one point 14. And the Nuggets are really struggling on the offensive end, but turnovers have really started to climb for the Saints. They're up to 13 with only 9 assists. So a negative assist to turnover ratio, which is an absolute nightmare, especially in situations like this. And they've gone completely flat, like you said, Miles. The energy has no offense. Sorry, their offense has no energy to it whatsoever. The movement is stopped. And then for the Nuggets, it's a different story for them. They've struggled to execute offensively in most regards, but has really just shaped up for them now. 18 points from turnovers for them, and that has largely come in this last little bit.
Jono Jansen has skyrocketed to 17% in your game MVP voting. Jalen Sabri, he should be on there as well, because he's got 19 points, 5 rebounds. Give some love to Caleb Smiler as well. Giving them 9 points off the bench, 4 of 5 shooting. Saints steering down the barrel of a 13-3 Nuggets run here to open the fourth quarter.
And obviously an upset win for the Nuggets wouldn't make them advance to the playoffs, but would be a really tough one to drop for the Saints.
Mazinski throws it out of bounds. Sloppy with it. Natai liked the idea, but just too much.
And those are the kind of passes people give me, but that's just because I'm 5 foot tall, Miles.
Like 5
Come
foot,
on.
not 5'1".
No, like
5.
like barely scraping 5 foot as well.
Carey Jr. Mazinski with the block. That's his third block. Nice play, though, from the Nuggets. That's that kind of action that the Saints have been running with Isaiah Liafa at different points around the floor. That kind of bounce pass, pocket pass, that cut. That will just open the floor up for the Nuggets so they can be more consistent. Bardsley can't get it to go down.
Maybe Bardsley will be wishing that one could come back for him. But it's a great look nonetheless. Like you said, Miles, that pocket pass on-ball action is really good, and they're actually being a lot more intentional about how they use their actions, and they're hitting bodies now and turning corners, allowing no space for Saints to get through. And another turnover for the Saints. They're up to 15 now, and they've all come in this mini run.
Takes a fortuitous bounce off the backboard. Fall away. That's a heat check for the Nuggets. Sabri, nice look. Just a couple of empty possessions. Bardsley had a clean look underneath, couldn't get it to go down. Marshall takes matters into his own hands. Drives hard, and Nick Marshall will head to the line to shoot 2. Bardsley taking one for the Nuggets there.
Yeah, we'll take another look at that defense from Bardsley. Did a great job initially to move his feet and get in front, and then just brought his hands out at the last minute, and will have to take a seat with his 4th personal of the matchup today. And a shame to see him go, because I think he likes this matchup here with Nick Marshall and probably was the preferable choice. And now he'll have to take a seat.
He's been excellent, has Matt Bardsley. 10 points for him as Marshall, who has been really good for the Saints, moves to 20. His average is just under 20, 19.4. But they're just valuable contributions from Bardsley, Aitchison and Caleb Smiler off the bench. Marshall misses that. Nuggets clean up with Smiler.
Could be wrong there, Miles. I don't think they're going to take Bardsley off. No one at the sub table to sub him out, so it might be a roll the dice moment for Mike Kelly here to leave Bardsley on.
Carey Jr. and Mazinski go to the floor. And the jump ball calls for the possession arrow, goes to the Saints. Just lost the handle. Don't know. Mazinski got a hand up. It just looks like a tackle to me. And they'll just wipe that floor up where those two bodies went down.
Yeah, a lot of sweat going around, I can imagine. I was one of those sweat wipers once. Just saying.
At what level?
For the Rams. That was where...
was that like 2 years ago, maybe?
Oh, come on, Miles. Now, that was back in the day when old Marcus Whippy was around. He ran straight into me one game, and I've just never forgotten about it.
Did he run into or step over you?
Come on, man. How many hijacks can we squish
I've
into
just
5
done one.
minutes, eh?
I've just done one. Oh, Marshall off the glass.
I mean, you know, at least I don't have a receding hairline, Miles. Oh, got him.
77-71. Touche. Jansen with a 15% game MVP vote. But these Nuggets deserve more of your love as Marshall moves to 46% and gives the Saints a 6-point lead.
And, yeah, it's breathing room, but with the way they've been playing at the moment, there's still very much room for the Nuggets to make a surge here. Again, the turnovers just running rampant for the Saints at the moment. That's where the Nuggets have been able to capitalize, and their offense has looked much better in this little stint. As I said before, just playing with so much more energy, much more flow, off-ball movement, and a real intent to use their actions. And funnily enough, that's changed everything for them.
Just 9 assists for the Nuggets, the Saints here. And the 25 made field goals. Their assist percentage is 62%. They're second in the league in assists at 21.5 on average a game. Put that down to the fact there's no Shea Ely, but this is the 3rd game in a row that they've missed him.
And I think it's no excuse that your assist count goes that dramatically downward without your point guard, because they still have facilitators, and their system and identity doesn't change just because you take a piece out. And they have shown that when they move the ball and find kickouts or dump-off passes, they look really good.
40 of the Nuggets' points have come in the paint. As Jansen looks to go to work in there. Kicks it out, Bardsley. Harris hanging off him, 6 to shoot. Lost the handle. Tough break from Matt Bardsley. Matt Bardsley. Right on Nick Marshall. Forcing him left. Nice find to Natai. Who wants the rebound? It goes to Marshall. Harris. Sees a double. Marshall deep 3. Sabri with the rebound. Carey Jr. to his left. Has it. Kicks it out. Smiler. Sabri, clean look. Knocking that down. Lead is halved.
Whew. Sabri. 22 points in the night now. 6 rebounds to go along with that. And he's been so good down the stretch. The shot making has just been elite. Not the case for Harris. Almost slams that one on the floor, does Harris. And the Nuggets can be very encouraged by their defensive efforts the last couple of possessions. And putting the ball to the bottom of the net really helps that momentum.
(77-74). This game has swung the way of the Nuggets in the fourth quarter. Saints, that pretty much sums it up from Nick Brzezinski there. Just hanging on to this lead. It was up to 12. Biggest lead was 14.
I think. Yeah, 14.
Just 5 second chance points for the Saints in this game. Usually pretty good on the offensive glass.
Well, funnily enough, they actually have 10 offensive rebounds. But it's been a lack of execution out of that. And the effort from the Nuggets to disallow second chance points off the offensive rebound has been really good.
Now, team fouls may come into a play here as we head into the stretch, down the stretch, because the Saints just have 1. The Nuggets have 3. Something to play with for both teams here. Gary Jr. stepping back. Off to the left, Hiram Harris falls to him.
The Saints will live with that all day if he wants to shoot a contested step back with time to go on the shot clock and they haven't touched the paint yet.
Liafa dropping it off for Brzezinski.
Brzezinski's just so efficient and good at what he does. You can rely on him in times like this. He's up to 17 points.
Jansen for 3 in the face of Brzezinski. Cuts the lead to 4.
They just hang around, don't they? They just hang around.
Liafa. That misses. Carey Jr. with it.
Oh.
Unlucky. Good defense.
Yeah, Ngatai, that was big time. We'll see it on the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Times it so well. So well, in fact, that Carey Jr. didn't even have time to let the ball go.
Harris dropping it off Brzezinski. And 1. Oh, he travelled. Ah, what a call.
And he knows it too, because this guy is not one to just be silent and accept the call. And that time he did. Just got a little bit of happy feet. And the Nuggets' chances stay alive, Miles.
They certainly do. Sabri gets into the front court. Pulls up for 3. Can't get the roll. Still plenty of time. Oh, they get the turnover. Sabri into the chest of Brzezinski. And he's called for the foul. Brzezinski moves to 4 fouls here.
I don't know if that was a foul, Miles. I think they just...
Oh, no,
it's
not.
It's just a turnover.
It is a turnover.
Nuggies.
My mistake. Saw the hand go up, but he did indicate he went the other way.
Brzezinski, that's a great job from him to avoid a foul in that situation.
So he stays on 3 fouls. Marshall. No Bardsley out there harassing him. But it's a great turnover. And Ngatai, did he make a play on the ball? Carey Jr. with the steal. Mike Kelly's asking the question. Can't call that on Jordan Ngatai in his own gym.
Yeah, that is the Prince of Porirua you're speaking about.
Mike Kelly, he does have a case, that is for sure.
And that's Ngatai's 4th personal.
That is the second team foul. Minute 46 to go. Nuggets down 4 with the ball. Bardsley, Hiram Harris all over him. Great hands. Carey Jr. Aitchison. Josh Aitchison needed that to go down. Now they need to stop the Nuggets. Saints need a bucket to give them some comfort. Liafa hesitating. Kick out. Marshall hesitated. It's 5 to shoot. Marshall is going to have to go. He will. Left hand off the glass. Sabri into the open court. Ngatai's back though. And again he loses the handle.
Oh, wow.
Liafa comes away with it. Ngatai fouled by Jansen.
It's really a battle of execution when you get to positions like this. And every possession counts. The Nuggets, the last two, have just gone astray. Josh Aitchison attacking on Nick Mazinski. And then this turnover from Sabri. And on the other end, giving up a foul. It's just not what you want execution-wise on either end from the Nuggets. And then you're sending a guy like Jordan Ngatai to the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
Making the first. Great crowd in here. To see Jordan Ngatai and the Saints show some love to the greater Wellington region. Left it short in the first, but Hiram Harris turns up when you need him on the offensive glass. Liafa seals the win for the Saints unless the Nuggets have a miracle up their sleeves. Carey Jr. needs to go quick. Liafa's all over him. And a foul on the floor, not on the shot. Carey Jr., he's angry. He wants that to be a three-point play opportunity, or at least 3 from the line.
Can understand the frustration there from Carey Jr., but they had plenty of chances to execute and bring this game closer, and they just weren't able to. Take another look at that. Saints doing a good job to be up and in and aggressive.
Welcome back to South Angels.
Got ourselves a timeout here. 84-77 with 33.8 to go. Big game coming up as well in the South NBL tonight. Rams-Hawks.
Yeah, the Rams could really make it hard to be touched heading into the playoffs if they get a win. And the Hawks are at that dangerous point where they're flirting with exiting the top 6. And the heartbreak of losing Darnell Coet doesn't help their chances. Dropped that one to the Sharks a few days ago.
Man, the Sharks are coming, aren't they? They really are heading for that top 6. Got that confidence. They're 6 and 8. 8th on the ladder. Nestled in behind the Fire, who do have a game in hand on the Bulls as well, who are in that 6th spot and have lost their last 4. Big game for them tomorrow in the South NBL, which will be the featured game on Sky Open against the Tuatara. Battle of the 09 for the BP and Drury there, unofficially.
It's been a really kind of unorthodox and unexpected implosion from them, I guess you could say, as you watch the losses they have and they just stop. There is a weird energy, and yeah, like you said, that's a massive game for them against the Tuatara as they continue to slide out of playoff position.
Carey Jr., a wild-looking 3. Had to get something going. And Liafa has fouled multiple times, but it isn't called.
The Barcard officials want to go home.
Finally, Isaiah Liafa's called for the foul. And that'll be 2 shots for Isaiah Liafa, who hasn't had a great game offensively. Just 10 points, 3 of 15, and uncharacteristically 0 for 10 from deep. But he's got 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal and a block. Just the 3 turnovers, so Isaiah Liafa doesn't really care about that stat line. He just wants the dub. And they'll try to keep pace with the Rams. We've got 2 games in hand. Well, it will be 1 game by the end of the night here in the South NBL. They play next against the Hawks.
But I think there'll be some serious lessons and takeaways from this one. Carey Jr. will get that one to go. For the Saints, though, Aaron Young will have to review seriously because this was a very close call for the Saints, and they're going to be in some high-pressure situations down the stretch as they head into the playoffs, and they really cannot afford to perform how they did here in this fourth quarter stretch. And the Nuggets have done exactly what they came out to do, is just push these teams and finish on a high note. And they really have done that. They've stuck around with this Saints team who are in second. It's been this guy, Nick Marshall, who's looked really good tonight. 22 points for him, 7 rebounds and assists, and 2 steals, and has done so with a 53% field goal percentage. Leads the mix and pick MVP poll.
Wonder if they ask, Shea Ely is out for an extended period. Wonder if they just give Sean Bruce a call, the Saints. Just see if they can get maybe Sean Bruce to come back over.
Surely.
Not 100% on that, but they do have the availability to bring Sean Bruce back. Then I'm sure they'll try and make that work.
It just gives them another edge, doesn't it? Like, just gives them another point of offense, and someone else with some more experience and calmness about them. Someone else they can go to in moments where some of their other scorers are struggling. And then, yeah, down the stretch, how good would it just to have another import?
Just have that experience of Bruce, who's played hundreds of games in the Aussie NBL as well. Out of that BNZ player timeout, it's fallen apart for the Nuggets. See Josh Aitchison there, just a little bit frustrated. Hasn't been the game that the Nuggets wanted to end on. It looks so good in patches, but it just hasn't been that consistency that's given them the opportunity to have a win here on the road. And they'll fall to 2-12 as we take another BNZ player timeout for the Saints. Get you a ticket to the big game, a chance through that QR code. And they will head for another loss. It's their 10th in a row for the Nuggets. Haven't won since the 27th of March, 65 days ago.
But as mentioned, money from the Dunedin City Council has been invested in their franchise, as well as the Southern Hoiho for the Tauihi League, so their franchise stays alive.
Which is fantastic news. And the team from Otapote can't get the win here. And it's going to be Jordan Ngatai to have the final say with a 3-ball. It gives the Nuggets another loss on the season. The Saints get the dub, 91-79 in Porirua. And they move to 11-4 on the season. Congrats to Nick Marshall, he was terrific. He gets the game MVP vote from the mixandpick.com poll for 24 points, 7 rebounds, assists and 2 steals.
There he is, leading all scorers today, the Chemist Warehouse stats. Sabri was really good for the Nuggets as well, especially down the stretch. Jansen, Kerry Jr., Bardsley all in double figures as well. Ngatai ended with 18, vintage Jordan Ngatai. Of course, Hiram Harris leads the rebounding count. Mazinski up there as well. No double-digit rebounders for the Nuggets whatsoever. Played a key factor in the win for the Saints. Marshall, Liafa, Gold in there as well. Liafa distributing duties as per usual. Harris and Marshall in there as well. Ball was flowing for the Nuggets. Jansen, Kerry Jr., Knox, Sabri and Aitchison in there. Big 3 blocks for Nazinski. Ngatai with 2, Liafa and Gold with 1, and 1 apiece as well for Aitchison and Sabri. And there's plenty of steals going on. It was turnover galore. Aitchison and Sabri with 3 apiece. Jansen and Kerry Jr. get 2. Ngatai, Harris, Marshall and Mazinski all with 1. Sorry, all with 2. And then 1 apiece for Liafa and Smiler as well.
17 turnovers overall for that team there on your screens. Here's how it looks coming up. The Rams and the Hawks from Christchurch, and tomorrow the Bulls and the Tuatara from the Franklin Pool and Leisure Centre on Pukekohe. And then on Monday, King's birthday, in the long weekend, the Giants will host the Hawks. And then we do it all again for round 12. That begins on Wednesday night. The Bulls and the Saints. On behalf of Maya Williamson and the Sky Sport team, thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the Rams and the Hawks tonight. The Saints get the win over the Nuggets, 91-79.